Boom. Brian Moses, you are one of the saviors of comedy. I want you to know this. Honestly, truly, really. Because a roast battle is like one of the last real, like, sanctuaries for horrible comedy. Like, nasty, evil, fucked up, but hilarious comedy. And the way you do it, where you make everybody hug it out at the end, and you like set the ground rules. No violence. This is just joke writing.
This is just words don't hurt us.
When I first came back to the Comedy Store, it was like, how many years ago it was now? It's like 5 years ago or something like that.
The exile was over.
And when I saw Roast Battle, it was one of the things that made me go, whoa, this place is different now. This place has changed. It's like, it's evolved.
We brought a fight culture back to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like where if you have a problem, we're in a place where all we use is words anyway, so duke it out that way.
Yeah. Well, not just that. There's people that don't have problems with each other, and they just fuck each other up on that stage. There's like people with like devastated friendships.
Yeah, they've ruined friendships.
Yeah.
But nobody's ever attacked each other. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
because I've been there a couple times. I stopped going. It makes me feel bad.
Does it? It's consensual. Everybody's involved.
I'm the commentator for the UFC.
Yeah,
and roast battle makes me feel bad.
That's the combat sport you don't like.
Just stop and think about how crazy that is.
That's nuts. Why? How is that possible?
Sometimes it's so mean. Sometimes people say shit that's so mean. You're like, yikes.
Oh, there was a joke recently by, it was Jimmy Carr and Megan Gailey. And Jimmy was judging her, and she was battling a puppet. That's how crazy the show gets. So this girl's got like a half hour on Comedy Central. She's brilliant. And Jimmy said something snide to her, and her response was, "I wouldn't fuck you if you raped me." I was like, I can't believe I've never heard that before. And his response to that was, "Oh, you can say funny things."
Oh, wow.
It was gorgeous.
I wouldn't fuck you if you raped me. Well,
let's break that down.
Yeah, I would have to be like this while that's like, I don't know if I'm going along with that one.
False premise.
Yeah.
Not going along with that one. Why not?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You're not fucking someone if they rape you.
No, it's not consensual,
Ever.
right? You're not giving it back.
It doesn't make sense.
All right. Well,
I get it.
Yeah.
I get what she's doing.
Yeah.
I get what she's saying.
It was just so hard, though. It was like, damn, I wouldn't fuck you if you raped me. God. That's hard. And a lady said that to a man. And it took him a couple seconds to be like, I'm going to let this happen.
There was some senator somewhere, and they were talking about rape, and he actually said that a woman can't, unless she submits, a man can't actually rape her.
Wait, what? Unless
Unless she gives into it.
She taps out? Like, all right, I'm giving it to you.
There was something along those lines. Like, it was almost like saying that she kind of wants it.
Wow.
Do you remember that?
I think I want.
Yeah, it was one of the most ridiculous.
He misspoke, of course.
He misspoke. Do you think they made Mario Lopez apologize?
For what?
He said that the babies shouldn't be trans. Oh. And he said, my comments were ignorant and insensitive because I want to keep my job at E.
Right, exactly.
That's all it is. He should have added that. He should have went ... because I want to keep my job.
Because I want to keep my job. That's really all it is.
3-year-old trans babies. What the fuck? Some Blair White, who's actually a trans woman, had a hilarious quote. She goes, 3-year-old trans kids are like vegan cats. We know who's making the lifestyle choices.
Oh, message.
Boom. And she's trans.
Right.
Which is hilarious. Well, she can say that. She's free like a bird.
I mean, what age?
It ain't 3. It should be in your 20s or something. You should be in your
like an adult.
Fucking adult.
A full-grown adult, right?
3-year-olds. What's the matter?
The camera just cut off.
Camera cut off? What? The fucking government. They don't want us talking about trans babies. Is it dead?
No.
Did the camera die? The cord died?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, everybody. Yeah, we live in the weirdest time in terms of like progressive ideology being dogma.
Gender's a construct, race is a construct, trying to bring it all down.
But race is not a construct because no one's been successfully transracial.
Oh, that's true.
Never been pulled off even remotely, not even
Eddie Murphy
close.
on SNL.
Yeah, but you could go black to white. Like Dave Chappelle used to do it all the time. Remember, he used to do the
Oh,
weatherman
right, yeah.
with a crazy wig.
Yeah, that was pretty good too.
You could do black to white. Nobody cares. You used to be able to do white to Asian. You can't even do that anymore. But
So you
could do
can't go transracial.
You could probably go Asian or white.
People are really holding on to this race thing. Why is that? Why do we hold on to it?
I don't know. I
I mean, because I don't look at you as like I don't even know what you are. You're just a tank. You know what I mean?
I'm mostly Italian, Irish, 1% Asian, 1.6% African.
See, and I don't even have that. I'm just like a nigga from America. You know what I mean? Like I'm just American black.
Well, if you care that, I mean, it's like variety's interesting. I like that people look cool. Like we were talking about Blake Griffin. Like it's interesting that there's a guy like him out there.
Yeah.
Big old giant dude.
6'10", albino looking. He's probably got all kinds of shit inside of him.
All kinds of shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, like when you meet a guy like that, you're like, wow, that's a different type of person. Look how big he is.
Yeah.
Like Shaq. Like when Shaq comes around UFC fighters, there's a photo of Shaq, and he was training at American Top Team with my friend Dean Thomas. And Dean is like, I guess Dean's like 5'9", 5'10", and he's standing next to Shaq, and Shaq is standing next to Junior Dos Santos. He used to be the heavyweight champion.
Right.
He looks like his child. Looks like Shaq's child because he's so small.
And Shaq's still like what, 7 foot? Like he hasn't shrunk at all.
He's he's a legitimate gigantic human being. I mean, he's fucking huge. I like the fact that there's people that are different. It's cool. It's interesting. You know, the real problem is racism. The real problem is not that there's variety. The variety part's interesting.
It's also like this new racism, you know, like there's so much of the cancel culture and you can't say what you can't say. And it's like, that's not scary racism like it used to be, right? I think people are more scared about the silent racism than like, that over, aggressive racism, like the lynching in the 50s and 40s and, before.
Well, we all know that stuff happened less than 100 years ago, which is why it's scary. When you see photographs, like those black and white photographs of the families standing around while there's a black guy hanging from a tree behind them like that is not that long ago.
No.
So that shit is still in the air down there.
Yeah. But now this new racism is like, you can't talk about trans kids,
Well, that's not racism, but yeah, that's just what that is authoritarianism. They're just trying to enforce a certain way of thinking and behaving, and they go hard on anybody who deviates. Poor old Mario Lopez. Probably the nicest guy that's ever lived. Doesn't have a fucking controversial bone in his body. And he's like, well, I don't think kids should be trans. I mean, they're little babies. And they're like, what? You insensitive. It's because they can go after him for something like that, and he'll acquiesce. He'll give in.
That's almost like backing into like that old segregative, like I guess like Jim Crow thing. Like remember another black guy talking about Emmett Till, but remember when Emmett Till gets killed, right? It's because of he's saying, hey, you look kind of pretty, or he's doing a cat call to a lady, right? And then this woman goes and tells these group of dudes, and it's like, hey, and they're just like, oh, we got to cancel Emmett Till. You know what I mean? So it's almost the same thing. I'm not saying it's that aggressive and violent, but it's the same thing of like you can't say anything, you can't have a brain. I guess there's I want to say like a criminal thought now. Even having a thought.
Right. There's thought crime.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the Orwell shit, right? Like, this is what people are deeply concerned about is authoritarian reinforcement of their own particular way of thinking and behaving. And it's because people have the opportunity to complain now. Like if you just didn't like the way someone addressed women or someone, you really didn't have a way to broadcast it 20 years ago. But now anybody can just get on Twitter or Facebook.
Right.
And it can go viral, and a bunch of other fucking pink-haired weirdos will retweet you, and next thing you know, there's a goddamn mob after Mario Lopez.
Right.
I mean, that's what happened. It's interesting, though. I mean, it's weird to watch it all take place, especially from our business, because comedy relies on taboos. And in a lot of ways, like, they're reinforcing us. They're helping us, because people come to us for relief.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, right?
Thank you. Yeah, keep the PC culture going. Honestly, it's only making us more money. It's making us more accessible.
The
really
fucking
appreciate
comedy
it.
store has never been more packed.
Oh yeah, and people are coming in like they're looking to hear those things.
Oh, they're so happy when you go out against the grain. When you go hard in the paint, they go crazy.
Love it.
They love it.
Yeah, bring on OJ. Bring him back.
You see OJ's fucking Twitter? Have you been paying attention to
No,
OJ's
I don't
Twitter?
follow it, Joe. I just think you can't follow OJ on Twitter. That's crazy.
I follow him.
Do you?
Fuck yeah.
Why?
Because it's great. Doug Stanhope and I, back in the day when we were hosting the Man Show, we had an idea for having O.J. Simpson at the end of every show. O.J. Simpson would be like Andy Rooney, and he would like break down the problems in America. Well, here's what I think about things. hey, Twitter world. And so that's what he's doing. He's literally doing what Doug and I wanted him to do on the Man Show, but he's doing it all on his own. Like he was talking about the debates. He goes, is it just me? Or does Tulsi and Andrew Yang, are they the only ones that are following the rules? I'm just saying.
Following the rules, OJ?
Watch me play it. Bring it back to the beginning. Give me some volume.
Twitter world. Is it my
Well, hold on. Go to the beginning so I can hear.
imagination
Hey,
that
Twitter
Yang-
world. That's my favorite part.
Hey, Twitter world. Is it my imagination that Yang and Gabbard are the only two who know how to follow the rules of this debate? I'm just saying.
He's just saying. Voice of reason.
But wait, he
That's
can't
a
even
catchphrase.
vote. He's a convicted felon now, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like OJ, what are you even involved? You can't even vote.
Because he wants to know where everything's going. I mean, he talks about the NFL draft. He's got a lot of sports talk on his Twitter, telling people they should get paid more and you need to, draft this guy and bring this guy in. And
So OJ's a GM now. All right.
but there's a thing. There's like you could have done some stuff. Like he could have embezzled some money and went to jail and got out, or maybe didn't file taxes. Like if Wesley Snipes, who went to jail for tax evasion, if he started talking about politics, you wouldn't care. You're like, that's
Right.
pretty normal. But you killed two people, OJ. You
Allegedly, he got off for that, Joe. Come
fucking
on.
killed two people. I'm saying he killed them. He killed two people.
I just think it's wrong what happened to Ron Goldman. Nobody even talks about him.
No, nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
They talk about the wife.
Yeah, all the time. They never talk about the other guy. He was like 25 and
Just a fucking waiter, man.
Yeah.
Bringing someone's sunglasses back.
he was side dick.
He was bringing the dick, right?
Right place, wrong time.
Was he bringing the dick? Has that been proven?
They were sleeping together, right? That's what it was.
Is that true?
That's that's also a rumor. Allegedly. We don't even know. We can't even ask him.
Yeah. I have no idea. I'm trying to find the killers.
Ron
Hey,
Goldman
Twitter world,
deserves
if
like
you-
a holiday.
He does.
He really does. It'd be Ron Goldman Day today on Brian Moses, Joe Rogan episode.
I knew his sister back in the day.
Really?
Yeah. She used to come around the set of News Radio. I knew her from back then. She was very nice. It was devastating, though. It was like knowing someone whose brother was murdered and, you're hanging out with her. It's like it's always in the air, It's always in the air.
Yeah, that's like
She had like a pin with her brother's face on it.
I should bring you some like black barbecues. There's a lot of sisters there who his brothers got murdered.
But the difference is it's ultra public. I mean, this
Right.
was pre-internet, right?
Yeah. That was the biggest thing to date.
Oh my God. I was watching the verdict with my girlfriend at the time. We were sitting in front of the TV, and I'll never forget when they said not guilty. My girlfriend put her hand on her face and went, oh, no.
That's
She
crazy.
couldn't believe it. She couldn't believe it. No.
Because I remember being like, I was like, it was either elementary school or it was middle school, and I remember the verdict happening, and it was like a split verdict. My teacher, who was white, she was like devastated, and like all the black kids, it was like me and another kid. We were so happy. We were just like, yes, because we didn't know any better. You know what I
Right.
mean? We're just
Sure.
like, we're just happy because a black guy got off because of what happened to Rodney King. We're just like, this is
Exactly.
redemption.
That's how many people felt about it. They felt
Yeah.
like the Rodney King thing was so fucked up that, I mean, the problem with the Rodney King thing is you only see the end. Apparently, he led them on a crazy high-speed chase, and there was fights, and
Right.
and he was a big fellow, and he was on PCP.
Yeah,
so he
so-
was swinging for the fences.
Yeah.
And so they had to beat him down, apparently, according to the cops. But then,
Well, PCP like makes your bones stronger, doesn't it?
no, it makes you really like impervious to pain, though.
Okay.
I had a friend who got his finger bitten off when he was on PCP.
And it didn't feel it until he woke up.
I don't think he remembers because he was so fucked up. But he was a boxer and he had his toe removed, his not his pinky toe or not his fat toe, the big toe, but the one next to it, and he put it where his index finger was on his right hand.
They moved his toe to his
Yeah,
finger.
They moved his toe to his finger and curved it permanently so he could throw right hooks.
Oh, isn't that performance enhancing?
No. No, not at all. But when he'd shake your hand, he would give you like the little finger.
Oh.
Because they don't make it so it can bend again. It was just bent like this forever. So if he was punching you, that was the only way. So when he opened it, it would stay curled.
Damn.
Yeah. He's a hard man.
And he was doing PCP.
He was doing PCP at the time.
You guys were hanging out?
He's my boxing coach.
No.
He was a madman.
Yeah.
Legit madman.
I mean, wouldn't that be performance enhancing? Taking PCP like while being in a fight because you could just get the shit beat out of you.
Yeah, for sure. But you'd be too aggressive. You would do like if a guy was it's not going to make you a better fighter. I mean, you wouldn't want your opponent to be on PCP because they would have no fear. They would just come charging at you. They might be able to just fuck you up just because of that if you panicked. But if you were a seasoned fighter and a guy was on PCP, he would just come charging recklessly. You just crack him as he's coming in and keep moving. And
you sound like the LAPD.
Eventually, his body would wear out. Your body can only
take so much, until it becomes mush.
I mean, there's a lot of people that believe in themselves and they get flatlined. Yeah. You know, they 100% believe in themselves. You gotta fucking believe in it, bro. If you believe, you can achieve. Not really. You know, if you believe in yourself, if Francis Ngannou punches you in the face, you're going into the spirit world.
Yeah, or like ACOS beat you down like for 8 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, with clubs.
Yeah, like metal
mace
clubs.
You and club you.
Yeah.
Was that pre-tasers? Did they not have tasers back then?
So that was after the choke, because you couldn't choke guys out anymore. So that's why they said they beat him down, because they couldn't choke him out.
Really?
Yeah.
They couldn't choke him out. Oh, that's right. They put a ban on chokeholds.
Yeah.
Why'd they do that?
Because they were killing guys.
Oh.
Because they were saying guys were on PCP when they weren't on PCP, and they were like literally killing dudes.
Were they killing them with their arms, or were they using a nightclub? Like a nightstick?
One guy killed with a stick, I think.
Yeah,
that was in the second case was a guy who actually
just
choked
with
a guy.
Rear naked choke, he killed him. I know a dude who killed a guy with a choke.
In the ring?
No, killed him in a gym. He was banging this guy's wife.
Oh, he really went for him.
Yeah, it was crazy. He was banging the guy's wife, and he invited the guy to his school, and then choked him to death and killed him, and then was driving the guy's car around town.
Dude, that's cold-blooded.
And then they arrested him. Yeah, he was an interesting character. He was a fake Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. My friend Eddie Bravo called him out.
Wait a minute. Fake?
Yeah, he was fake. He's a fake black belt. He was telling everybody he was a black belt. And Eddie rolled with him. And I remember him coming back to me, and he's like, that guy's not a black belt. And I go, what, you sure? And he goes, dude, he don't know anything. Like, it was too crazy. It was like it was like a white belt.
You can get killed doing shit like that.
I thought maybe he was doing it because maybe he was just being nice and wasn't going hard. And he goes, but then as time goes on, I was like, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And so then he calls him up, and he was like, hey, are you a fucking black belt? Like, tell me the guy's like, well, I'm a black belt in Japanese jiu-jitsu. He goes, stop. Are you a fucking black belt? And there's like this big pause. He's like, bro, you're a fucking liar. You're a liar. So Eddie separated himself from the guy. And then years later, the dude wound up murdering somebody.
Oh,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
With jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, he murdered the guy with jiu-jitsu.
No, so he knew something.
The guy. Well, I could teach you how to put a choke in 5 seconds.
Yeah?
It wouldn't take long at all. Yeah, I could teach you how to do it. You just wrap your forearm underneath someone's neck, clamp your hand to your bicep, put this arm behind the head, squeeze. You could kill somebody. It's not a hard thing to learn. But to actually apply it to someone who knows what they're doing, you have to be really good. Like, you can't no one's going to let you choke them. But this guy didn't know anything. So I think he snuck up behind this guy who he killed and just choked him to death.
It sounds like the OJ murder.
I think he brought the guy to his school under false premises. He's in jail now.
Oh, shit. All right.
Yeah.
Shout out to that guy.
Yeah. It was weird because I got semi-involved in it, in that the guy who wound up ratting him out to the cops was one of Eddie's students. And I was talking to the guy on the phone about it. I was like, what's going on with that guy? And then the cops called me afterwards and said, hey, we were tapping that guy's phone. We want to know what you know. And
whoa.
I was like, whoa. I'm on the fucking set of Fear Factor. I'm in my trailer.
Jesus.
Yeah, putting my microphone on. I'm like, huh?
And you're in a murder case all of a sudden.
I'm like, hey, listen, I don't know that guy. I go, this is what I know. He's a fake black belt. I told him the whole deal. And I had heard that he killed somebody. But I wasn't sure if it was true because the guy's so full of shit. Yeah. This is how full of shit this guy was. This guy had a friend drop him off in the woods because he said he was going to a kumite karate contest, like a big karate competition. But it was no rules and it was secretive. So he dropped him off in the woods.
Where was this guy from?
I don't know. But he lived in California for a while.
Okay.
He dropped him off in the woods with a duffel bag.
Yeah.
He gave him a duffel bag. Like, he had a duffel bag with him, rather. And it's like a duffel bag that's just big enough to fit a trophy in it.
Yeah.
Right? Like about this big. So he leaves, goes out into the woods. The guy comes back the next day. He's got a trophy. No duffel bag. So he brought a fucking trophy with him. And then he came out of the woods like, yeah, I won. I fucked everybody up. And like, so this guy would he thought this guy would tell everybody that he beat everybody in this karate tournament.
This guy's a hell of an actor. He really commits.
He was one of those guys that snuck through my crazy radar. Like, because he's a friend of a friend, so I assumed, I was fucking 30 years old. I didn't know any better. I was dumb. And I was like, I assumed.
30?
30, yeah.
Aren't you fully cooked by then?
Nah, you think you are. You haven't met enough murderers yet.
Shit.
You have to meet enough really legitimate crazy people to have them in the database where you're like, oh, you're a sociopath. Oh.
Well, what's worse, a psycho or a sociopath?
Sociopath is someone who doesn't care about someone. A psychopath, I think, is someone who violently attacks people, but in many ways they're interchangeable. Like, let's Google that. What is the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath? Because I think a sociopath can have no violent tendencies, but I think the idea is that they have no compassion for other people.
Right.
Like, I have a friend, and she thinks her sister's a sociopath.
Everybody thinks that everybody's a fucking sociopath these days. That's like a hot. Right. That's the hot word these days.
It's like calling somebody a racist, or calling someone a Nazi.
Exactly. Yeah.
The quick thing I pulled up.
Well, put it up. So
you explained exactly what it said, but there's just like a Venn diagram that's
Let's see.
Better explanation.
By the way, every woman who's going to hear this is going to be like, he is a sociopath.
Oh, so there's something in the middle. There's like, you could be both. So genetically predisposed.
Why is it?
A psychopath, genetically predisposed.
So my parents would have to be psychopaths.
What is happening with the screen there, buddy?
Switch that. Did that on purpose. You should connect again. Maybe not. Maybe it's dead. There it goes.
Oh, even better. Okay, lacks empathy. A psychopath, genetically predisposed, lacks empathy and guilt, convincing behavior. Look how they spell behavior. That's
it's
British.
conniving behavior. Yeah.
But look how they spell behavior.
Oh yeah, with the IOUR.
Higher job success. What? Okay. Antisocial personality disorders, conform social relationships, and treatable. That's the one in the middle. And
okay,
then
so they're both
sociopath, environmentally influenced, feel empathy and guilt, erratic behavior, struggles to find and keep jobs. Wait a minute. I thought sociopath didn't feel empathy and guilt.
I
don't think this is right. I think this is some British definition.
like the psychopath doesn't care, but like it's the same. They know what
the
they're doing.
sociopath does care? Sociopath would feel no guilt about hurting a stranger. So how is that?
It's saying the same thing.
But it's not saying the same thing.
Right.
It says they feel empathy. When you look at that chart, it says sociopaths feel empathy. Whatever. It's close. We kind of get it. And kill it.
Sure. I feel like a lot of stand-up comics is as much as they're narcissistic, they might also be sociopaths.
I think a lot of people, they get to a point in their career where they're trying so hard to be successful that it becomes all about them.
Right.
Like, it becomes such an obsession, and the narcissism is so strong that all they really care about is their own good and their own success.
Right.
And they'll fuck people over. That's a fact.
I mean, yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, that's kind of sociopathic. Yeah, have you lived it?
Lived it a little bit, yeah.
A little bit? You want to talk? Want to talk about it, or you want to keep it on?
We should keep it on the hush, yeah. Yeah, we can't break it on this one.
Yeah.
We'll come back for that one.
We'll do that when the camera stops rolling. We've all had those experiences. You know when you find it? You find it when you start getting a little bit of success.
And it's not even much.
Right.
It could be anything, yeah.
You get a development deal.
Right.
And all of a sudden people are like, like, oh.
Yeah.
But there's people that equate good things happening to other people as bad things happening to them.
And that's the narcissism. That's that
extreme
egomania, right?
extreme narcissism. And obviously there has to be something wrong with you most of the time. Not 100% of the time, but most of the time, to want to be a comedian.
Right. Absolutely.
Something's got to be wrong.
Yeah, because this is like your ego gets kicked in the dick every day, especially in this town. So just taking that every day, you have to have something a little wrong with you.
Yeah. And no better way to see it than the goddamn open mic nights.
Bruh.
Ooh. At the store, I can't go anymore. I used to be able to go and just watch, but now it's so fucking crazy. It's just, I can't.
Especially the Comedy Store, because now there's a crowd now. I remember when I was like coming up, there was no crowd. It was just your peers.
Open mic nights are packed.
Yeah.
Packed.
Yeah, like with a real audience.
Yes.
Yeah, like that's you guys are stealing.
There's people that are fans of comedy now that want to see the process.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot.
When did that change?
Podcasts.
Oh, that makes sense.
We started talking about it on podcasts, and next thing you know, I think over the last like 6-7 years, you start to see people that are like, I want to know what it's like. What are they? Because they love going to see like headliners. Like if you love going to see the fully finished product, you want to see what it's like to see. It's almost like going and watching amateurs fight. Like, I'll keep an eye on him. Maybe one day he'll be the champ.
I hear that, but then it's also, I mean, there's that, but I feel like fighting, yeah, you can kind of see somebody's style here and there, but with comedy, you see everybody's style. You're going to see a young guy who's probably doing like a Dave Chappelle type of thing, and a guy who's doing like a Jim Gaffigan type of thing, a Joe Rogan kind of thing, a Mitch Hedberg kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's just what an open mic is. You're going to see a bunch of copycats until they figure it out. You can't just do that.
But what's cool about it is you go from that, and then you can go into the other room, like, you can go into the main room and there'll be a real show going on.
Right, Kill Tony.
So you could see both on the same day. Like you really can. You could go see a real comic.
Yeah.
You could see an open mic night, and then at the end of the open mic night, like Chappelle shows up at Pop-Up all the time.
Right. Dice Clay.
Yeah, all the time. So you literally watch these amateurs, and then boom, a world-renowned professional shows up.
You're like, oh, that's the finished product. We get it now. Yeah, but they're never going to be. I mean, that's crazy. That's the guy.
But somebody used to be. I mean, Chappelle was an open micer. We all were open micers.
When'd you start? Like, how old were you?
1988. I was 21.
21. Okay, yeah. He was like what, 14 when he started?
Like he was a baby.
Yeah. When did you even get in?
I think they let him in. I didn't know you could get in. I thought you had to be 21 because it was a bar.
Yeah.
And so, but it turns out there's like a law where you can be. I think in Massachusetts you could be 18 with like a note to perform at a nightclub. They just had to make sure that they didn't serve you alcohol. When I met Dave, I think Dave is like 4 or 5 years younger than me, and I was 23 or something like that. He was a baby.
I mean, he was what, 17 probably? Yeah.
Yeah, I met him at the Catch Rising Star. Catch Rising Star in Boston. Or not in Boston, in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he already passed all the clubs by that point?
He must have been. He must have been. He was on stage, and they were already talking about him. Like, look at this young kid. Like, he's so talented.
I remember Silverman, Sarah. She was telling me, she's like, I remember when Chappelle got Mel Brooks's one of his last films, the Men in Tights. And it was like the big talk in New York. It was just like, hey, that 19-year-old kid just got a Mel Brooks deal.
Wow. The world was a different place back then.
Yeah.
It was
Isaac Hayes was alive.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So it was a different time.
Yeah.
There was, you guys were scared of AIDS. This is the 90s, right?
Yeah.
So AIDS was big. You couldn't really fuck anybody.
Dude, the first time I got an AIDS test, I was so nervous.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I just was a slideshow. Every bad decision I'd ever made. Every time I never wore a condom was just going through my head. Because everybody was convinced. It was funny because at the same time, Kinnison had a bit where he goes like, they say, Sam, they say AIDS is a communicable disease. Straight people can get it too. He goes, name one. Name one fucking guy. Fuck you, it's not our dance. And people were
Anybody you know?
People were so mad. No, nobody I know.
Yeah.
But I was just, when it happened, I remember in my car, I was living in Boston, in my car driving, and I was listening to the radio, and Magic Johnson had a press conference to announce that he had HIV. And it was like a scene in a zombie movie where the first person got bitten. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's happening. Holy shit. Oh my God. Magic Johnson with all his money? That guy's got HIV?
Yeah.
Oh my God. We're fucked. We're fucked. I remember thinking that. And then it was probably like a year or two later, I got an AIDS test.
After Magic got it 2 years later,
I didn't have any money. I couldn't have got. I mean, I didn't have health insurance.
I forgot there was they cost money back then.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because now they're just free.
Yeah. Well, now they want people to not get AIDS,
or people just get AIDS sometimes just to get the free healthcare.
Really?
Yeah. This is a rumor on the street I've heard in the gay community because I live in the gay community. Not that I am, but I'm saying I live there because it's clean and it's nice.
There's anything wrong with gay people, right?
Exactly. There's nothing wrong.
Right.
Anyway,
you live in a gay neighborhood because it's safe.
It's safe. Oh my God, it's safe. Yeah, I just have to worry about Anyway,
but don't drop your keys when you're naked.
Yeah, I don't go outside naked anymore, Joe. But yeah, they say some guys will just get it just to get the free health care. This is before Obamacare.
There's a thing called bug chasers. Mm-hmm. Do you know what that is? Mm-hmm. It was gay dudes that, for whatever reason, look, A lot of people are self-loathing, right? There's people who cut themselves, people that tattoo their face. They hate themselves for whatever reason, and they punish themselves. Well, there was
Post Malone hates himself? Tattoo on his face?
There's got to be something wrong.
Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I think he had some issues. Yeah.
He's my favorite, by the way.
Love him.
He is my spirit animal. I fucking love Mike Tyson.
I got Tyson weed over there if you want to
Do you
smoke
really?
some. Yeah. Do you smoke weed?
Yeah, I smoke weed.
How often?
Every day.
Every day? You want to smoke some right now?
Yeah, I'll smoke some right now.
Smoke some Tyson weed. Hold, please.
Mom, sorry.
Hold, please.
Breaking out the good stuff.
It's going to knock me out. Let's do it. Mike Tyson, holler at me, please.
Some Tyson Ranch
Yeah.
original stuff, I think.
In California City. Dude, I grew up out there. That's where
Yeah.
the earthquakes are.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're launching it soon. The ranch.
The ranch.
It is.
Oh,
they
shit.
did. You got a blind.
Yeah, he brought us a golden box. Look at that box back there. It's amazing.
Who made that? That wasn't, whoever knows Mike. What was he on? What episode was that? 2,
It was
3?
a few months back.
Oh, shit. The bamboo. Look at that.
Can't believe we never smoked weed before. Did we ever?
No,
Probably
we haven't together.
Never? Ever?
We've had a
Sure?
drink together. We haven't smoked together.
That's outrageous. Outrageous.
Joyce Occasion. Oh, my God.
But anyway, there was bug chasers.
Okay.
Bug chasers were dudes that, for whatever reason, they wanted to catch HIV.
They wanted to what?
They wanted to. They'd call them bug chasers. They would literally go out and try to get it.
Why?
I mean, they hated themselves. They wanted to die.
Oh, this is a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh, this is okay. This is
Yeah.
like black kids would do like the death by cop thing.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah. And not just black kids. You see that video recently of the guy who's running towards the cop with a knife, and he's fucking screaming and yelling, and he's like, "Don't make me shoot you! Don't make me shoot you!"
He just wanted
the
to
cop
die.
just starts unloading on the guy. Suicide by cop is super, super common.
I did not know that. Yeah, I thought it was just a hood thing.
No, it's a real common thing. But bug chasers were. I mean, maybe it's still a thing, but now AIDS is.
Dude, AIDS is the apple of diseases. It's the Oprah of diseases. I mean, honestly, it's like when Magic Johnson got it, AIDS was like, our stock's about to go up like fucking Disney. I mean, because you think about crack and AIDS kind of came into the same time, and crack was killing it, and then all of a sudden now AIDS is like, you get AIDS, it's like
It's not that big.
that's a hit
deal.
track, yeah.
Yeah, like look at fucking Charlie Sheen. He looks great.
Looks great, dude. Jeff at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, Jeff the Comedy Store's had it forever.
Yeah, he had it back when it wasn't cool, before it was cool. You know, still got it.
He looks great.
Looks great, still got it.
But it's HIV. It's not AIDS.
Right. It's not
That's
full
the
blown.
difference.
Yeah, but nobody gets full blown.
Some people do.
Really?
Yeah, it's just
you can live with full blown.
I don't know why they get it. Maybe some people don't react to the medication. Maybe some people don't get treated.
Full
I don't
blown.
know. Well,
you can live a full blown. I didn't know
don't think
that.
you live very long.
Right.
I mean, once you get
Because you
it.
can live with HIV.
Yes. Well, now they can get it to the point where you're HIV. By the way, if you're a doctor and you listen to this, we're sorry. I know we're. You're like, you guys don't know jack
You
shit.
have no idea what you guys are talking about.
But if you, here it goes. Death usually occurs within 6 months to 3 years from the time of developing full-blown AIDS. People living with AIDS. Is there any other disease that has full-blown next to it? It's only AIDS, right?
like a
You
rap
don't-
name.
You get full-blown flu.
Full blown AIDS, and that's the scientific term, by the way.
It's like that's so blown out. That's so slang.
Oh,
Full-blown
full-blown.
AIDS. Put that back up so I can read it again.
Sorry, I was looking for other things with full blown in it.
No, there's nothing else with full-blown in it. People living with AIDS go through periods of being sick, alternating with periods of reasonable health. It's usually one of the many opportunistic infections that eventually cause death. So yeah, your immune system's smashed.
Yeah.
And then it causes death.
Oof. Full blown. All right.
Yeah, full blown. But
Shout
now
out HIV. HIV is like 38 now?
yeah, HIV's been around for a minute.
Happy birthday.
Now it's where the point where you can be undetectable. Like Magic Johnson's apparently undetectable.
Right.
Like even through AIDS tests, like when you test him for HIV, he shows HIV negative.
Really?
Yeah. But they say it's still dormant in his system somehow or another. It's very confusing.
So it's like herpes almost not for him. Like it flares up every
no,
once in a
because
while.
I think if you have
Or
herpes,
hepatitis.
even if you don't have an outbreak, if they test you, it'll show you that you have herpes.
Oh, but with HIV,
But
no.
yeah, with the way they have the medication, the way the body responds to the medication now, at least in some cases, like Magic Johnson's, apparently, he shows up HIV negative. But the weird thing is, like, well, isn't he cured then? Is that cured?
Mm-mm. They've only
But they
cured
sa-
2 people, and he's not one of them.
So when they have started curing people, which I was like, okay, well, how do they differentiate? Like, what's the difference between curing someone and what's going on with Magic Johnson when he's HIV negative? Like,
Yeah.
if you're anything else negative, they figure they cured you.
Yeah, they haven't actually. Yeah, they haven't deemed him. He's done with that. Like you've
Right.
cured it.
Like
yeah.
if you get tested for chicken pox and it comes up negative, they've cured you of chicken pox.
right,
There's
polio,
only one
yeah,
person.
I'm polio negative.
One guy, meet the only
It's-
person to be cured of HIV.
There's one more guy now.
I
There's
was-
one more guy now.
So what happened to this guy?
He had stem cell treatment is what fixed it.
See,
Yeah, I thought I just read something
they're
about
holding
that.
the good stuff from us. Yeah, they just cured another guy. I want to say a few months back. It was this year they did it.
Well, there was something that I posted on my Twitter feed that apparently is an older story. It's from like 2 years ago, and it was kind of from like a clickbaity type site that
Yeah.
has cool headlines, but it was about how a guy was paralyzed, and he's got regaining use of his legs because of stem cells.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know enough about it. Look, if that's true, that would be fucking incredible.
Yeah,
I don't know enough
And don't
about,
hold that from people.
Yeah, I don't know enough about how severe the injury was
Yeah.
versus, because I do know that some people get temporarily paralyzed by certain injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I knew a dude who got slammed on his head and his whole body went numb and he couldn't move his body, and he was like, "Oh my god, I'm paralyzed.
This is it. Yeah.
This is it. This is how I'm gonna live from now on. I can't move my body." But then his body slowly started coming back, and he just got jolted because he was wrestling.
It's like a stinger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was wrestling. Landed on his head. Scary fucking shit, man.
Yeah. I mean, paralyzed and full blown AIDS.
Yeah, so I don't know if they really can bring someone back from that. But man, if they can, holy shit.
That's a great question, though, by the way, because they do say if he's HIV negative, they wouldn't say he's cured of it.
Right.
So then evidently it does show up in some testing somewhere.
Again, scientists, sorry.
Yeah.
We're sorry.
Also,
We're
how
sorry.
is he the only NBA player in history to have HIV?
Do you remember Keenan Ivory Wayne's bit about him?
No.
Not Keenan. I'm sorry, Damon.
Yes.
Damon Wayne's bit about him. Damon, who I sing his praises often on this podcast. I think he's like the most underrated comedian of all time.
I
Like,
hear
in
that
terms of
often, by the way. Yeah.
Greats, one of the greats.
Yeah.
But he had a bit about how nobody wanted to cover Magic Johnson except for Dennis Rodman. And Dennis Rodman was like, "I fuck Madonna. I'll spit in your mouth and accelerate your symptoms."
Damn.
Dude, it was one of those jokes where you hear it, you can't fucking believe he said it, and you are on the floor slapping the ground. You're like, no,
Yeah.
no.
I mean,
He was a monster. Damon
he's
Wayans
still
was
a monster, by the way. Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
featuring for him like a year or two ago. And
No, he's a
years
murderer.
ago, actually. Yeah.
Underrated.
He's still
severely.
great.
People forgot. It's like that Roy Jones Jr. song. Y'all must have forgot.
Yeah. He should put a special out, though. Maybe that's what
Fuck
it is.
yeah, he should put a special out.
And all his sitcoms are pretty great, too.
He took a long time doing that TV show. That's
Mm-hmm.
what it was. People associated him with that television show, which was like very family friendly.
Yeah.
You know, good for him. Made a lot of money, I'm sure.
Did you ever guest star? Is that what you're mad about?
No, I don't mad about anything. I love that guy.
Yeah.
I love his brother too. Keenan's cool as shit.
Yeah.
Keenan's
And
like
the
one
other
of the
ones are good,
nicest
too.
guy ever.
Sean and Marlon.
I know them too,
Love
but I
those
don't know
cats.
them as well.
Yeah.
Keenan's super cool. He's always been like a real down to earth guy too. But
I mean, they have comedy bones, like all of
Oh,
those
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
I mean, like
Whole
I
family.
work with Marlon, and he is so funny.
he's hilarious.
Yeah.
But the whole family. I mean, imagine a family
Yeah.
that has that much stand up in it. I mean, that's bananas.
I mean, the Rock family too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
Jordan,
right.
Tony, and
That's
obviously
right.
Chris.
Yeah. Dude, Tony's another one.
Yeah.
God damn, that dude's funny.
Yeah?
God damn, he's funny.
I've never seen him live, but he's
Bro.
I only get told I look like him.
Bro, he's one of those guys that because he's Chris Rock's brother, people almost like they look past him. You know, like, oh, you're Chris Rock's brother.
Right,
You're
right.
the other Rock. Like, dude, forget all that. That guy's a murderer.
Yeah.
He fucking kills. He's really good. He's just funny, man. It's like sharp, good writing, you know, good solid punchlines,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. His pacing. He's like a legit killer. He's a
Fuck.
legit killer.
All right.
Dude, the last time I saw him he was in the main room in the Comedy Store, and I walked into the back because there was roars.
And it was Tony Rock.
And Tony Rock was murdering. I mean, murdering. Where I was like, whoa. Damn, you could hear it in the hallway, that hallway roar when someone just really hits a high note. I walked in like, damn.
No, dude, everybody's always talking about Tony Rock in the community. I mean, he's a monster.
He's a monster.
I gotta check him out.
He would be so much more famous if he wasn't Chris Rock's brother.
Really? You believe that?
100%.
Right.
He's a fucking top 10 murderer. I think that it's one of those things where if your brother is one of the greatest comics of all time, not just a great comic.
Right.
Your brother's Chris Rock.
Yeah.
He's
got niggas versus black people. I mean, and everybody knows that bit.
Everybody knows that bit. He's one of the greatest of all time. If that's your brother, people don't want to pay attention to you.
Right.
You know, it's a weird thing, man. They just like, yeah. Can you get me your brother's number? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's
That's
like
the gift and the curse, though. Yeah. It's like, but I'm Tony Rock, and I kill too. I probably kill. You know.
Charlie used to have a bit about it. Charlie used to have a bit. He goes. They said, Charlie, do you get mad at people yelling out Charlie Murphy? You know, because everybody's like, Charlie Murphy! That was like a thing people would do with him if you were hanging out with Charlie. He goes, no, I'm just glad they're not calling me Eddie Murphy's brother anymore.
Imagine how Ray J feels.
Yeah, man.
Brandy's brother.
Yeah.
You never saw the tape.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
You saw the tape.
Yeah, everybody had to see that.
Yeah, it was must-watch TV.
It's super important.
It is in pop culture.
Birth
You're
of a
right.
Star. Yeah. It's got to be weird, man, to have someone like that's a brother, that's a person who's like if you're Mike Tyson's brother, you know, real good heavyweight boxer.
Tony Tyson.
Yeah, but you're Mike Tyson's brother.
Yeah, and you can't. Yeah, like I get knockouts too. Like, yeah, but you're not like Mike, bro.
Yeah, you're just judged at a totally different standard. But I don't think that's the case with the Wayans brothers. The Wayans brothers is like generally accepted that they're all really talented.
Yeah,
you know.
They're all really good.
They're all super successful.
Yeah. Kim too. Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
Now, Shantae, Damien, all those characters.
Crazy comedy family.
Craig. Yeah, they're all just like it's in their DNA.
Yeah,
predisposed to being funny.
Well, it's also like that's the family business, which is, you know, some people, they make boots.
Right.
You know? Some families,
or they cater, you know, or they work delis, yeah.
Man, I was just in Italy. Like when you see like these little small family businesses, small family restaurants, like people that work there, you know, like the father's the owner and the daughter's the manager, and the mom works in the kitchen. It's like, wow, this is crazy.
That they still do
family
that.
Businesses. Yeah. That was always a thing, right? You remember like family businesses on the East Coast. Now it's like so rare that people, they wear it like a badge of honor. Look, it's a family business. Like all businesses used to be family businesses.
No, everything went corporate though.
Yeah, man. There's certain places where that's not the case though. Like you got to really appreciate. There's one of the things you appreciate about going to Italy. Mm-hmm. There's just like a bunch of little places. I mean, they have nice stores. Like if you're in like Gucci shit and stuff like that, they have nice stores.
Yeah.
But the restaurants and all the places where you buy things, they're like people's shops.
Right. They're not boutiques. They're just like I go to Craig's or I go to Tiffany's.
Not Target or Walgreens or or Sears. It's not. There's no corporate to it. It's just families. It's weird.
That keeps the money in the household too. You know what I mean? That makes it real familial. That actually works out.
But
that makes sense, and that's also why I say like I'm not real big into the reparations talk for Black people. I mean, I don't really know the ins and outs of it. People keep saying like we need it.
Get ready for Twitter hate.
I'm saying this. I'm saying how about we incentivize parenting?
Good. But can you do that?
Let's keep if you're watching your kids instead of like they're just out there. Because I mean, like, let's say is reparations talk about infrastructure in Black communities, and if that's the case, well then let's incentivize keeping the parents there, keeping the parents together. Or if they're split up, it's just like if you guys are teaching your kid and he's in school every day, or he survives 8 years without a school shooting, every family gets like a big bonus. Or if he makes the honor roll, like you guys get this. It's like you'd really be investing in your investments. Like they say it takes 18 years to make it back on your investment of your child. If you're incentivizing him to go to school for education, it's going to make better people in a better society.
That seems good on paper. No, if you're saying incentivize, like how would you incentivize them?
Right, I'm saying like
it's always good. It's always good to encourage people to be successful.
Okay. So your kid tests well on some of these like aptitude tests, right?
Right.
Then you get a stipend or something like that. I mean, it's like what are these reparations we're talking about exactly? It's exactly. I don't really know the ins and outs of it, but if it's about infrastructure of Black communities, I'm so into it. But it's also let's incentivize being in the child's life. Because for a lot of the reasons these kids are like they're depressed and they feel like they have a chip on their shoulder because nobody's home watching them, and they go to these gangs or they go to these other things, right? It's because they're just not being watched.
Right, but I think the idea behind reparations is that some people at one point in time were profiting off of slavery. Those people have used that money, and that money has become a part of really large businesses, many, many large businesses.
Oh, we're talking about taking from businesses?
Well, that's where reparations would have to come from, in my mind.
Yeah, General Electric, give me $1,500.
That's one that I think directly should be, like, you have to wonder, like, if you made, like, what if you used to sell babies, right? You had a baby selling business. You sold babies, right? And then your grandson inherited all your money from selling babies.
Okay.
But the grandson's cool. I mean, he just he goes golfing and he's not a criminal.
Right.
It's fine. It's fine. But is it fine? Because didn't his money come from baby selling?
Right.
Where's it? Wait a minute. Let's trace this money. Like, it started out, it was this much money, and then your dad got that, and then his dad got that, and then, like, how many generations?
Okay. So you're saying that families who are known plantation owners should have to pay that money back to the black community?
Where did it go? Where'd the money go? What was it used for?
No, you're right. But I'm saying,
it's only 100 years ago. It's 1865.
Okay.
It's not that long ago. That's so recent.
And we're just giving it to anybody that's on the census that says they're black, right? No. To what, like an 8%? If I'm 8% black, I'm going to get how much of this, the Jones plantation, fortune?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that what the smart thing to do would be to figure out what damage was, like, if they really objectively looked at what damage was done to communities where slavery existed for, how many hundreds of years in this country before it was
400 years.
Hundreds of years, right? And then it ends.
Mm-hmm.
And then these people live in these cities and they're discriminated against and they're locked up.
Yeah.
They would sort of, one thing that I learned about, who was telling us about this, that they would disproportionately arrest black men for all sorts of different crimes
era
to get
is
them.
The worst era for black people in America. It's not so much slavery as it is the Reconstruction era, because then people are just mad that black people are here.
Yeah, well, they were also arresting them for like small crimes and making them work in prison.
Right, kidnapping people and making them indentured servants.
And it's just another form of slavery. It's like through this weird loophole. Like, we can make you a slave again. We just arrest you for hanging out in the street. And then we put you in this factory and you have to do this for us. And you make nothing. I mean, it's basically the same thing as slavery. When you find out what they make in prisons, when you go, wait a minute, they work for like 13 cents a day or whatever the fuck they get.
Right.
Like, what?
They're figuring out how to, they're modernizing slavery.
Yeah, because somehow or another that's okay because we got them locked in a box. Like, they're supposed to be punished, right? They're supposed to be rehabilitated and taken off the street, but we're going to make them work for no money.
I know. The white man's so smart. Why don't we, like, black guys, we got to start making white guys work for us. Why don't we do the same thing? We're just as smart.
Well, all the areas that were affected by that in the 50s and the 60s, there's a residual effect that has never been addressed. Like, the government has never said, we've got to figure out how to make these spots better, because the reason why they're so fucked up is because slavery was there. And then the subsequent, the race riots of the 60s and this quest to figure out what to do with those sort of stopped short. There's not like Baltimore and places like that, like Detroit, South Side Chicago. We just murder every year. We just accept high numbers of murder, right?
Yeah.
Is West Side of Chicago? Is that where it all goes down? Or
South Side and West Side, they're just really poor areas. But it's also like, how are these guys getting guns?
Yeah, well, if you can drive around, you can get a gun.
And that's another, I just don't know. Like, you have money for guns, but you don't have money to, like, I don't know, get a backpack and go to school.
Well, also, if you see that around you all the time, the problem is you become a part of that world. If everyone's got a gun and everybody's shooting at everybody and you don't.
Yeah. No, you better get one.
You better get a fucking gun. Yeah. They're going to try to shoot at you. You got to shoot back. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
we're all shooting. Like, yeah. You live in a war zone, bro. Go get a gun.
That's what it is. It's just like, it's not a war zone in terms of like its official designation by the government, but it's a war zone.
These are undeclared wars. Yeah. Like, no, people are shooting at each other. They're warring each other. Hatfields and McCoy it's a war. It's a civil war.
It's like warring tribes.
Yeah.
Like, if we have that in fucking Siberia right now, I bet.
Yeah.
But there's Siberian gang fights.
Yeah, but that's also
It's everywhere.
That's depression, and that's another thing classism does. It's like they're telling you to kill yourself because you're just poor and you don't know what to do, and it's like, but that's not true. I mean, I'm a black guy like you guys, and I got family members who are in gangs like that, and it sucks down there. They're so depressed because what they say, and they don't know how to get out of it.
Yeah, and they don't see any pathway, and they don't see anybody who's gotten out of it, so they feel like they're stuck. There's a lot of kids that grow up in bad situations. They feel inferior.
Exactly.
And they feel inferior because of the clothes they wear or how much money their family has.
But then how do you empower those kids?
I think through activities. I think getting those kids involved in things that they can get good at, that show that they have value, and that with hard work comes rewards. I mean, some of the greatest success stories in this country are professional athletes coming out of impoverished neighborhoods. Yeah. And they become these global superstars.
Right, but then they stay in their kids' lives, though, don't they?
Some of them do,
right.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, but they're still there.
But it's like you can't fix all that's taken place.
No.
Right? You have to sort of figure out how to improve the way people look at life, the way people interface with life. It's very hard if you're trying to do that, but all around you is violence and crime and fear, and your
100%.
cortisol levels are all jacked up because you're in the hood. And that's not been addressed like a serious health problem in this country. It's like even an infrastructure problem. We just sort of accept the fact
it is an infrastructure problem. So if we're going to put money back, if we're going to repair these black communities, put money in the infrastructure, but also you've got to incentivize parents to be there, right?
I think it's a good idea. I like what you're saying because you're not punishing them.
No,
you're just incentivizing.
No, I'm not saying like we shouldn't get money, just for being black. I'm saying we got to keep the parents there because that builds a strong community. It really does,
I don't know a whole lot about Kamala Harris, but I do know that, she's a very powerful, well-spoken lady. But she was talking once about this thing that they did where they had these parents be responsible for their kids' truancy. And so they could go to jail. Like the idea was, make sure this is correct. Make sure this is correct, Jamie. Because I think the thing what they were saying was they would have cops go to visit when a kid had been truant.
Okay.
And they would sort of threaten the mother that she's responsible for the child's truancy.
The mother is, not the father.
Well, whoever was there, it was a single mother in this case, this one case they were talking about specifically. And that this lady had to figure out a way to get her fucking son to show up at school. Hey, I could go to jail. And did it work? I'm sure it worked, right? I'm sure everyone was probably terrified. But is that really what we want in America? We want people to be scared that you might go to jail if your kid doesn't go to school. So if the kid doesn't go to school, you're going to lock someone in a cage? That is so threatening.
Yeah, because
there's also
homeschool. You know what I mean? I mean, just because he's enrolled, it's almost like, maybe I took the sick day.
Yeah, but if you want to do homeschooling thing, I think you have to fill out paperwork. Okay. You apply for it. You have to let them know that you're withdrawing your kid from the school system. I think.
Right, but how many truancies is this? Is this his first one?
I don't know how.
Is he a first-time offender?
I don't care if it was 100.
Yeah.
If someone's saying they're going to lock you in jail because your kid doesn't go to school, that's bananas. That's bananas. Like he's 16 or whatever the fuck he is.
Yeah.
Like when you were 16, you were like I was a latchkey kid. When I was 14, I was out and gone.
We lived in a different time though, Joe.
I know, but
there was two genders. Kids. Race was race. It was different for us.
That's the only thing that bothers me. That just drives me crazy. The idea of like the way you fix things is by scaring people and locking them up. That's how
religion,
the gulags start, man.
Yeah,
that's how the Soviet Union becomes this fucking empire of authoritarian regime. What's up?
The jail sentences of some parents in multiple counties were, in quotes, what she said, an unintended consequence of a statewide law. But I'm looking further into this, and this is from the Los Angeles Times.
Well, it was a speech actually that she gave where she explained how she did it and how it was effective. She was hard on people being truant. I think your idea, what my point was, I think that your idea is better because instead of punishing people for not doing it, incentivizes them for doing it. And if you could set aside, imagine that as a project, right? You were saying that like it takes 18 years to see. Or if we could fund an 18-year project where they were doing that and just incentivizing kids to succeed, and all of a sudden they just started succeeding like crazy.
Yeah.
Like what if we had a big jump because it was like financially like you're competing for. What's a great idea,
dude?
It's a great competing.
Look
for
at the
money.
AAU. By the way, look at all these guys who get popped in college for like taking incentives.
Yes.
It's like it's because they're getting their parents' jobs or homes or cars.
There's another form. Right
You know what I mean?
College athletes. Who's getting fucked harder than college athletes?
Exactly.
Who's getting fucked harder than the only thing that's interesting about literally the only thing that's interesting about the event is the athletes performing. That's it. And they make ungats. They make nothing.
Yeah, they're getting like a 40 grand scholarship. Yeah.
School gave you the opportunity to perform here.
Right.
So you're gonna
Not everybody gets here. It's just like,
you get an electrical engineering degree.
Like everybody wants me. What are you talking about?
Oh my God, look at this. 2016-2017 school year, the NCAA revenue reached $1 billion with a B. $1 billion.
And they're a nonprofit, right?
The athletes get ungats.
Just like get paid to organize the sports events, really.
Hey, click on that link. It says NCAA sports make one. That's that Business Insider. That's one of the real clickbaity. Is that like is it or is it a real legit?
You just got to figure out who wrote the article.
But it's also like what California is like. They put on a bill, right? They're going to pay the athletes for their likeness.
They should pay them to play.
Yeah.
Should pay them to play. What are those people
all
in the
California
audience?
schools, I think.
Those people in the audience. What do they pay for?
They're paying for entertainment.
They're paying to watch the players.
They're paying for entertainment, yeah.
They're paying to watch the game. So how come the players don't get a piece?
Right.
Why don't they do it?
Or it's like people are wearing a jersey that says my name on the back. Like, why can't I get just like a piece of that?
The idea is that it's not fair. No one else gets anything for anything they do in school.
Yeah.
But you're stealing from athletes.
Well, it makes you professional because you're getting paid for your craft now.
Well, then if it's going to be, if the athlete's going to work for free, the fucking show should be free. It should be free tickets.
Damn.
Anybody could go.
You just broke the internet.
Yeah. That's what it should be. Like, oh, okay. We don't get any money. Well, you don't get any money either. We're doing it for fun. Or you're doing it for fun. What are we doing?
If games were free,
yeah,
holy shit.
That's how it should be. You don't want to pay me? Free. Everything's free. You can't charge money and keep it all, you greedy
That'd
fucks.
be the worst audience, by the way. The free audience is the worst audience.
You know what the weird thing about colleges is the dudes who've graduated and they're rich now and they donate money. Keep that football program alive, Wilson.
Yeah.
They give you a fucking
They're
stack.
investing in their community, player.
They love it. Like Jamie loves Columbus teams. Anything from Columbus, he gets a boner for. He gets super.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay away from this one.
Are you watching the basketball tournament?
There's stuff going on at Ohio State with the Epstein shit. They've invested a lot of money at Ohio State, and they're trying to figure out if they need to give it back or not.
Oh, did he go to Ohio State?
He didn't, but he's involved in Columbus business, and so they've given a lot of money to this football team. And
have they determined that his money, like how his money was made?
Through sex trafficking?
Oh, yeah, like Epstein's money?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I know he was managing that one guy's money.
I mean, how much from sex trafficking? Because that would make him a plantation owner, like in a sense, right? Because he's giving out flesh. He's getting paid for flesh.
What was his allegedly? What he did was he would find young girls, and get them to give him massages,
and they'd be like, "You guys should, get in my tribe." Yeah.
The prosecutor,
look how mad you are. Yeah.
The prosecutor had a real creepy way of describing it too. He said that he thought it was impossible for him to control, that his impulses were impossible for him to control, and he was a great flight risk, so they didn't want him to have. See if that's true.
So his therapist was saying this. So they're trying to protect him, but it's also like, are they trying to cure him?
I think. See if that quote is true, because I'm pretty high right now. The prosecutor said that that the Epstein fellow had impulses that were impossible to control. That's how he felt.
But a lot of those guys, they say that, right? Even like the Jared, all the guys say that.
That's a thing apparently about pedophiles.
Yeah.
Is that the recidivism rate's so high. When if they do go to jail and then they get released, boy, man, they do it again.
Right, because like I get away. I can do that. I can deal with that.
It's not just that. I think they're broken. I think it's like that screen that was just all fucked up. And
that's them.
That's them.
It's a glitch. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we should assume that. If your brain is working well and your body's working well, you just can't assume that everybody's is. And I think some people,
but then it's also like broken. You feel bad for. I mean, like we feel guys who are born with maybe like severe cerebral palsy, right? Like in a sense, that's what's happening to them. Like they can't control this urge. But then it's also, how do you fix that instead of like shaming them?
Right, and a lot of it is apparently a lot of pedophilia is brought through sexual trauma, right? So if someone is molested as a young child, apparently there's a high likelihood
that they're going to do
a
it.
higher
Right.
likelihood, rather, that they can.
So it's like the HIV virus.
It's just you're breaking someone's wiring, like the wiring to the way they interface with the world at a young age, and you're fucking up their life in a horrible way.
And they say that about Michael Jackson, right? It's like he got touched early, so then it was like he was using that as like, hey, this is normal to me.
Yeah, what did he ever allege happened to him? Did he ever explain what happened to him?
No.
There was something where he was talking about how he had all the surgery so he didn't have to look like his father. I remember that.
Really?
Yeah, but it could also be that.
So he was scared of his father.
Yeah.
And every time he looked in the mirror, he saw his father.
Yeah.
Man in the mirror.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what it's about.
I don't think that's what it's about either.
It's not about Joe Jackson.
I think this was about getting your shit together.
They also say because he bought the Beatles catalog that's a smear campaign, and like they paid those kids off to say that about him.
That's ridiculous.
It's a great conspiracy theory.
I think people are, they're crazy if they think it's normal for a guy to have a bunch of kids sleep in his bed. And
He
hang
was
out with them.
weird. You know, Michael's on drugs.
That is off the charts bananas that anybody would let their kids stay there.
Yeah.
Off the charts bananas.
It is. Also, Mike was off the charts.
Yeah.
He had so many hits. The
was
more
off
hits you have, the more shit you can get away with until
What is
eventually.
this?
It's the only thing I could find about
okay,
it.
Berman's dismissed a request for bail because Epstein's impulses are not likely to have abated or been successfully suppressed. That's not exactly. I definitely
that's the only thing I could find.
that makes more sense. I paraphrased hard. So that's how things.
Is the Florida governor?
That's how rumors get started.
So this is in Florida. You can get away with anything
Yeah.
there. All right.
You used to be able to. They're tightening down on Florida.
Thank God. I mean, what the fuck, Florida? 2019, it took you this long?
Well, Florida was the place where the pain pill mills existed, where they
Yeah.
have the management centers, the pain management centers, right next to an OxyContin store.
Dude.
So you go to the doctor, you'd say, oh, it's just, my back's killing me. The doctor's like, you need pain pills.
Yeah.
It's like, I do need pain pills. And you just write a piece of paper, and then you would literally go to the next door over, and it was the building connected to them that sells the pain pills. They'd have it in the same spot sometimes.
That's just like
Inside-
cocaine country too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's so fucking high in Florida.
Oh, dude, Florida's crazy. It's crazy. It's got a history of high. I feel like the chaos of the 80s of all the cocaine is burned into the psyche of the landmass.
Yeah.
And then the alligators moved in and made it even more reptilian. Because when I was a kid, there
They
wasn't
made it
that-
more reptilian.
When I was a kid, I lived there. I lived in.
Did you really?
I lived in Gainesville. Yeah.
Ooh,
Gainesville,
that's North Florida, right? North?
I don't know if it's north. Is it north? Sort of-ish? Middle-ish? Well,
Sort of middle? Okay.
I mean, we were around alligators, but they were endangered back then. So they would tell
Were
you.
they?
Yeah. They thought of them as endangered. People are so silly. They're like, we have to protect these fucking monsters that are around us. We have to. And when I was there, some lady's poodle got snatched. I think it was a poodle. It was a small dog. Got snatched by an alligator while I was there.
Jesus.
And yeah. I didn't see it happen, but I came like after it happened, and people were all freaked out. And they were telling you to stop feeding them marshmallows. We would feed alligators marshmallows.
And they keep coming back.
Well, the thing is, they liked the marshmallows. Like, so you knew if you threw the marshmallows, the alligator would come up and eat it. And they got used to eating marshmallows. And then there was signs. They said, don't have the alligators eat marshmallows because it's apparently bad for the digestive system and blah, 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 blah.
What, they can shit everywhere?
Hey, mother can eat a whole dog with a collar on.
Yeah. That's better for digestion. Yeah.
I mean, it's not
They're
spitting
digestive?
out the dog's collar. It's swallowing that collar. It's going to shit out that metal buckle.
Ugh.
You really think a marshmallow is going to stop? And so this attitude that they had, that they wanted to bring back the alligator, it was a good thing because, they really were on the verge of extinction. But then it became the opposite. So now alligators are everywhere. So now, like, alligators, people find them in their house.
Yeah.
They find them in their pool. Like, they're snatching people up.
Yeah.
they
They
snatch
become
up
rats.
dogs.
Yeah. Like rats in New York.
Bro, they're
Yeah.
everywhere. And they're so. Did you see that one that was really recently filmed walking across a golf course?
No.
It is a dinosaur. It's
Really?
15 feet long.
I do love the gator, though. I fucking love the
It's an
gator.
awesome
though.
animal.
Yeah, it really is.
It's an awesome animal. You should see if you could find the video of the giant alligator. They said, by the way, that this alligator is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 years old.
Yeah. He's 80 years old. Okay.
80 years. That's an 80-year-old alligator.
God, he never
Walking around
experienced
in
any
Florida.
kind of racism or Jim Crow laws.
They're just
Yeah, walking through like
an
just
eating machine.
Yeah,
You know.
good for them.
But when here it is. Look at this.
Oh shit, you weren't lying. Oh my god,
Oh
he's
my
80 years
God.
old.
That's an 80-year-old alligator.
He's moving kind of fresh.
They say the ones that are really big, when they get to be that like 15-foot length,
Yeah.
he goes, a lot of those are really old, 50, 60.
No
80.
arthritis. I mean, God.
My friend shot one, and it was more than 80 years old. Shout out to John Dudley.
That thing, that is a dinosaur.
That is a goddamn
Wow.
dinosaur. That means, rewind that again, because we're both super high.
I mean,
That is
what is he even doing?
Imagine seeing that. Brian Moses,
Yeah.
you're in your yard, you're chilling, hanging out on your phone, got your feet up, and you see that walking across your yard.
Yeah, I gotta get the fuck out of Florida.
You're like, how close is that to me? What the fuck?
I mean, it's super dope. Look, I mean, look at that thing. God, he's got a scab there too.
How much do you think that weighs?
Let's go half a ton. 500 pounds?
I think 1,000 easy.
Did you see the guys fishing and the one
I said
starts
500.
chasing
Jesus
him?
Christ. I am high.
He's reeling in a big ass fish, and the gator wants it. And
Oh
it starts
my
chasing him
God.
on land, and these guys like, get the fuck out of the way, get out of the way.
Oh my God.
It's a 1,000-pound
Not that
gator.
big, but it's big.
It's a lot of church shoes.
It's so big.
It's a lot of church shoes.
But these things, they live amongst us, and they eat dogs,
Yeah.
and they eat deer, and everything else they can get their hands on. They have to eat a lot of food to maintain that fucking mass. Is this it? So the guy, oh my God, he's got the fish.
He's got a
He
fish.
pulls it
okay.
in, the gator's chasing him.
Holy shit.
Oh, fuck, man.
Whoa. Look how agile he is. For 80?
Dude, they move quick. They move quick. I don't know who knows how old that one is. That could be a younger one. Oh, he's stealing this dude's fish.
Yeah, keep the fish, bro.
Wow.
Just got robbed for his
That's
fish.
crazy.
Yeah.
He just got jacked.
Yeah,
That does not look
Gator
like
gang,
that's
gator
a
gang.
crocodile. Yeah, I was going to say that doesn't look like an alligator. That's a crocodile.
What's the difference?
Crocodiles have like a pointier snout, and they're way more aggressive.
Okay, so don't fuck with the croc. Alligators are better.
Yeah. Oh my God, they're better. If
Okay.
there was as many crocodiles as there are alligators in Florida, way more people would be getting jacked.
Oh, so
They'd be
croc is okay. Whoa.
Crocs will fuck everybody up. Crocs do not discriminate. They
Okay.
get water buffaloes, people. They don't give a fuck. They're real aggressive too. There was this one video of they had like an alligator farm, and they were raising alligators,
Yeah.
and then they had one crocodile. And so when they came time to feeding, the one crocodile's like, "Bitch, down, sit the fuck down," climbing on top of these
Like
alligators.
roosters and hens.
Yeah, like yeah, but he was on the top of all the alligators. Fuck the fuck off of here, and just took control and was getting the food.
Now, will
Like, way more aggressive.
will a crocodile eat an alligator?
That's a good question. They eat each other. I
Do they
think.
really?
Which
Yeah.
one's a caiman? Where's a caiman fall?
That's a
into this?
crocodile, but it's a very small
Okay.
crocodile.
Okay.
Caimans are small. They live in the Amazon.
Have you eaten crocodile?
No.
Or gator?
Yeah.
How's
Not
gator?
alligator.
How was it?
I had it at a place that was like a fucking TGI Fridays type joint, and it wasn't the best. It wasn't TGI Fridays, but you know, it was like one Applebee's type place. or
Right,
something
like a
that.
chain. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
a
serves
chain.
gator.
And it wasn't like fresh, but apparently when you get it fresh, like right off the gator, it's supposed to be really good.
I think like
Delicious.
any meat can be like that. You know what I mean? Even rat.
Yeah. But the alligator thing is like, did you eat the gator? Yeah,
Yeah.
we did. We went crazy. What a weekend. You know?
Yeah, my brother and sister live down there, and my brother got a gun pulled on him.
Whoa.
Yeah, by like a delivery driver.
Whoa.
So
What?
so my brother is they a little baby, my little niece, and they're with her. It's my brother and her in the back, and then he's driving. It's in the neighborhood. He's going the speed limit, right? Like maybe like 5 to 10 miles an hour, probably a little slower. And there's a delivery driver behind him. Delivery driver gets mad, starts honking at him. Is behind him, right? My brother-in-law pulls into their driveway. Delivery driver pulls in behind him, and is like, "What do you want to do, man?" And it flashes a gun on him. And my brother, who's like, he's as big as you, he's like a bodybuilder, and he was like, "I don't want to do anything, man." He's like, "I just want to know why you're honking at me. I got my daughter in the back. You know, she's like less than a year old." And the guy's just like, "I'm not making this a race thing." And he's like, "I'm not saying this is a race thing." And the yeah, so he's just like, "Well," and then because my brother-in-law's in the military, and he kept calling the guy sir. And the guy's like, "You call me sir? Are you in the military?" And he's just like, "I am, sir. I am in the military." And he's just like, "Well, you're a disgrace to the military." And he's just like, "I just went slow enough because my daughter's in the back and you're behind me." So he's like, "I don't understand what the deal is here." And the guy kept trying to egg him on to try to like provoke a fight because of stand your ground.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it was, when I heard about it, I was terrified. My sister was shook. She had to come home from work because it's like, you know, the baby's in the back and this guy just like pulled up into your driveway, and he's just like, if Quincy would have made a move and that guy shot him, that guy would have been on the right.
how much of that's going on?
It's probably happening all the time. Look what happened to Trayvon.
That's a uniquely incompetent security
Right.
guard too, though. I mean, he was getting smashed. He's getting his head bounced off the curb. when he
Right,
pulled
by a
it.
15-year-old,
You
right.
know, that kid was fucking him up when he
Yeah.
pulled that gun out. I mean,
That happened in Florida too. Wasn't that a parking lot, right? Where a guy like thought he was being threatened by a dude with his kids in the car, and then he shot the guy. There's a parking lot in Florida.
I don't know that one. Well,
That's for that. I think that happened either last year or something, but that's definitely a recent one.
people just having guns all the time seems like a great idea, but the people like that having guns,
Yeah, but
that's when it becomes a problem. Somebody knows that you don't have a gun, and they're trying to goad you into something so they can shoot you like a fucking outlaw Josie Wales movie. Like, that's not someone defending themselves.
So that's the weapon.
That's why guns are creepy. It's not creepy because a guy like you has a gun. You're a great guy. You're not going to rob anybody.
No, I don't need a gun either.
You
though.
wouldn't have a gun,
Yeah.
right? But if you did have a gun, I wouldn't be nervous. I'd be like, well, Moses has a gun. He can handle it. You're a
I'm
good
not
guy.
looking at. Yeah, I'm
But
not
there's some
looking
people that aren't good guys, right? And if those
Yeah.
not good guys get a gun, what is this?
This was the one he was talking about where the guy was, it's a big stand your ground
Yeah.
case where he's like on the ground with his hands up and he got shot still.
Really?
The guy said he felt threatened or something, I believe.
That's all they need is a reason, dude.
Oh, my
That's
God.
all they need is a
You got-
reason in Florida.
He's on the ground on his knees and the guy shot him?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I mean, when do you not shoot someone? If you're willing to, are you willing to shoot them if they flattened out? Like, if
I
you
mean,
did he have to
I
flatten
thought it was
out?
always like if somebody's attacking you. I thought. I mean, you're on the
Do you have
offense.
to flatten out?
Yeah.
Well, like,
No, you have to offer them money.
please don't
Here,
shoot me.
yeah. Here's how much I think my life is.
when would you accuse him? I mean, if you shot the guy while the guy was flattened out, what about then? Do you think the same? But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
do you think like they'd have the same reaction? Because the reaction they had when they saw him with his hands up on his knees,
I think they'd
they're
still
like,
be mad. Yeah. I don't know how mad you get. I don't know how mad you are with a gun in your hand, with a weapon in your hand, to be like, I'm playing God right now to this guy. I can kill this man right now, or this person right here.
Right,
So
but
yeah,
what
it wouldn't. I
I'm
don't think it would
saying is,
matter.
Would they accuse him? What I'm saying is, would they accuse him? Because they didn't. He got away with it, right?
No, he was accused though, right?
He wasn't charged for this.
They didn't charge him.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
What?
That's what I'm saying.
Wait, the
It
guy
says
that- the guy
he
he
wasn't,
shot?
he wasn't arrested. Yeah, he's citing stand your ground law. I'm reading right here from the AP. Sheriff won't arrest parking lot shooter.
That's what
Oh,
I'm
so
saying.
they can't even charge him.
No, that's what I'm saying. They're
That's
not gonna charge him.
I'll
you
follow
can't
up.
challenge that rule like in football. Like you can't. That's not
Well, he
a red
said
flag?
He said he felt threatened.
And the black guy was just like, dude, I was on the ground, and there's closed circuit footage of it.
Yep. But my question was, what if he had lied down flat on the ground? Would then he be? I mean, when would they? What would the line be
That's
where they
insane.
decide to charge him? You know what I'm saying? Like, if
Right,
they don't charge
right,
the guy
for
when he's on
cops.
his knees. Okay, will you charge him if he's
Damn.
lying down? Like, if the guy's lying down, you just execute him.
Right.
Is that still stand your ground?
There
mean-
is a manslaughter trial apparently now, updated as of June
Updated.
18th.
Manslaughter. Oh, he killed that guy.
They're looking
Yeah.
to call the
Guy's
sheriff
dead.
as a defense witness.
That's insane.
Insane. There's certain people that should never have a gun, right? Now, there's certain people, a lot of, seasoned law enforcement people and people with good dispositions that would never in their fucking wildest dreams shoot someone who's on their knees, would never threaten anybody with a gun, and they have a gun purely for self-defense. That's a different thing. But when you have everybody can have a gun, you're going to get a certain number of those fucking guys.
Yeah.
And they think
Wait a minute.
They think they're in the right.
I think we all got to get guns. I mean, like, is that not the move? Do we not all get guns? This is America. We can be racist and have guns and be on drugs.
Well, you have to be on drugs now. It's new.
Right.
It's gonna come to a point in time. Like, could you imagine?
How scared are you of your kids to go to school now?
It's scary.
Right?
It's scary. When you have children, you're very vulnerable. You feel more filled with love than ever before, but you also feel more filled with fear because you're worried. I mean, that's one of the things that the Romans always knew. So make people have families. You can control them if they have families.
Oh, that's fucking powerful.
Yeah,
You can
people
control
keep
your
them in
families.
line. You can't control young dudes.
Right. Who are
Young
single.
dudes with swords who are single. Like, you want them to get shacked up and have kids.
Right, that way they stop doing that.
Yeah, and then you got to kill somebody's kids every now and then to keep them in line.
Jesus,
And that's what
Joe.
they did. Bro, I mean, that's what they did. They did that from time-honored tradition.
You kill somebody's kid to keep them in line.
They've done it in the mafia. They've done it with a lot
Right.
of people. I mean, it's always been something that people do to put fear in people. You get people to, when you have a lot more to lose when you have a family, they
Right.
look at it that way. There's certain people that, I mean, when you study how to get people to listen to you and to behave and how to strike fear into populace, that's one.
That's why they don't want abortion laws.
Wow, that's deep.
Right?
There's, if there is someone that is really thinking, we need to make sure that people have families so that they'll be more vulnerable.
Yeah.
If there's someone that is following that philosophy, which is not my thought,
Yeah, exactly. You said the
This is-
Romans said that.
but it's been around forever. This is like a commonly
Like a human,
thought
just
of,
humans born, they think that like, oh, we have to keep families to keep them in line.
well, it's when you talk about authoritarian figures, like people that want to have an iron fist to control the population. The last thing you want is a bunch of young single guys running around with no
Yeah.
attachments, because that's how coups get successfully completed.
Yeah.
A bunch of young mercenaries just decide to take over your fucking building, like
Yeah.
expendable style, and shoot everybody. You don't want that.
Yeah, because they have nothing to lose.
Right. You want a guy who loves his wife and
He's
a guy
got
who
something to
loves his
lose.
kids, and he's got
Yeah.
he's got something to lose, and that's how you keep a society in order.
And that's why you shouldn't be getting rid of babies. No condoms, no babies. No birth control, no babies.
If someone really was plotting out a culture that way, like really masterminding it and really saying that, not just knowing that it is the case that people do change when they
Right.
have children, but then doing this and promoting this on purpose specifically to control people. If that was the case, yeah, they would do that. They would do that too. They would work against abortion because they would want more people to have more kids so that they
Yeah.
can control them.
That makes sense. Well, good. Good for the South.
Crazy to think that way, but it would only be like one factor. I think the major factor is religion, because if you are pro-life and a candidate is pro-choice, in your mind, a lot of times people decide that person is against like God's law. That person wants to kill children.
Right.
So they almost feel like compelled to vote, to vote against you if you're pro-choice.
I know, but like, are they thinking about, well, what if this mother doesn't raise this child? Now you have this, this mother who's resentful of this child that she had that you guys made her have, and this child who's, this loveless child now, and they both, she's got mental illness, he's got mental illness because, he's looking for his mother's love. She's like, this kid ruined my dreams, this husband didn't stay, that kind of thing. And you're making these communities, depressed and sad, and then you guys who said, no, you have to have that. You're not raising this kid, you're not putting money in that, in this family's pocket.
All these things you're saying are true.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you could see two like distinct patterns, but infinite different varieties of
Completely.
The world sucks because the baby was born,
Right.
or the world is amazing
Right.
because the baby's born.
Right. Tim Tebow says that, he's
That's the thing, man. It's true.
Tim
though.
Tebow's awesome.
It's true with all. I mean, you never know. You never know. But it's whose decision should it be, and what is it? That's the real question. Like, what is abortion?
right.
Like, what is it? Is it killing a baby, or is it a medical procedure? Like, which one is it?
Oof. That's
know,
a slippery slope.
But that's where the debate falls in pro-choice or pro-life. It's not that these pro-choice people are evil people.
No.
They just don't want anybody dictating. I mean, it's not like an evil organization that's created by Satan. It's not. It's women that don't want you to tell them what to do with their reproductive system.
Right.
That's what it is. They want to be able to make the choice themselves. But then there's other people that are pro-life, and specifically the more militant ones, which, have assassinated abortion doctors. I mean, there are people that firmly believe that even if it's just a couple of days old,
Right.
it's a baby.
Right.
And that any sort of procedure to stop that in its place is murder. You're murdering a baby. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it's like the way they look at the loony left, and that they buy into this bullshit. And,
Right.
that's a narrative that, that's how they really believe. And people demonize people on both sides of it as if they're so different, and there's no way you could ever think any differently than the way you're thinking it right now.
No, I think you broke it down just like, is it a medical procedure or is it the other way? And I think that's hard to get into.
It is
and you
fucking
can't.
very hard to get
I mean, that we'll be debating that till the end of time.
Well, it's one of the most human subjects because it shows how complicated shit really is.
Right.
And if you try to pretend it's not, then you get into late-term abortions. You're like, well, what's up there? when does it get weird for you? When does it get weird?
Yeah,
Is it 6 months? Does it get weird then? Look, it's weird. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to have an abortion or should be. I'm not saying either of those things. I'm just saying to deny the weirdness.
Yeah.
At the nicest term that I could come up was weirdness, right?
It is weird. I got a girl pregnant when I was a teenager, and she had an abortion. I'm sorry, she had a miscarriage. Nature's abortion. And then she would, I mean, it was 8 weeks or 9 weeks, and she was flushing out chunks of what she was calling the baby. So I mean, that's at like 8 to 9 weeks, everybody.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So
wow.
yeah, and she shouldn't have had a baby. She was on crystal meth. I mean, that shouldn't have happened. So thank whatever higher power did that for us. But yeah, but I'm saying like that. I mean, that's when that's why it's so messy, and it really is messy because you don't know what is what.
Right.
You know, she's like, it traumatized her.
Yeah.
You know,
makes sense. I mean, it's a crazy process that the human body goes through that men will never really understand, because there's never going to be an opportunity where a body grows inside your body and then comes out of your body the way a woman experiences.
I mean, that's some alien shit.
Dude, women experience something that is so alien to anything that males experience. They grow a body inside of them.
Yeah.
It's so different. It's so different, like in terms of how they interface with the world. They have to be nurturing. They want to protect the nest and keep everybody safe, and they're going to have a baby inside of them.
Right.
Boom. And now they have to take care of this baby and care for it, and then the baby will become more people, and they'll start mating, and they become adults, and they
Portals
have babies of their own.
Yeah.
It's
these
fucking
earthlings.
wild.
Yeah.
It comes out of their body. And for us, man, we just shoot loads.
Yeah.
It's so easy. We just like with what we do when we don't have a baby and what we do when we have a baby is the exact same thing. Like when you have sex with a woman and she gets impregnated, it feels like regular sex to us. And we have sex all the time, and you don't get pregnant, and then all of a sudden you are. So it's like weird. Like we didn't even do anything. We just had sex. Like we normally have sex.
Yeah.
We had sex, and now there's an extra person. Like, whoa. Like, what? But there's a lot of times, you associate sex with pleasure.
Right.
Like, it is, obviously. But when you have a baby, you're like, oh, it does that?
It does that, yes.
That's what it does?
Yeah. Sex does that.
So for a man, there's no difference in what happens to his body, right? Like when he's having sex and a baby's conceived versus when he's having sex and nothing, it's just fun. There's no difference to him. He doesn't feel a difference. Yeah. Whereas a woman, literally, her body will fucking grow.
Yeah.
A person
with a brain that she's sharing vessels and things with.
This thing's kicking inside of her. Like, that experience.
It'll fuck you up.
For a man, it's just, I mean, I do not, like, if there was a way that you could record what it's like to be someone, and then they give you like a little chip, and you would slip it in there, and I could see you, like, you would allow people all of your feelings, the way your skin feels, the way your emotions are, the way your psychology is set up. You would allow all people to literally be you for a couple days.
And the chip would do that.
Yeah, this chip would just sit in your head, and you would be that person.
Yeah,
I would like to feel what it's like to be pregnant.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to feel that rip, that pain, or just
no, not the birth part.
Okay, so
fuck that. And I don't want the dick.
Such a straight male answer.
Right. I don't want to get fucked. I don't want to imagine if that was the only way you could feel it. Right. But I would wonder what it would like to, first of all, be a maternal woman. I mean, I'm really curious as to what the hormones feel like, what it must feel like, because I don't think we. You know, when you see a woman, you try to understand, like, what's the world through her eyes.
Right.
You're never going to feel the way she feels.
I'm never going to look at somebody else and be like, oh, they can kill me right now all the time. You know what I mean?
That too. Yeah, that too. That's a huge part. But I mean, even just interfacing with the world through a different type of human body, a female human body versus a male human body, in terms of like estrogen and the testosterone ratio and how your maternal instincts and oxytocin and all these different variables. Heightened sensitivity, you know, in certain situations.
Yeah, they have like superpowers, actually, when you describe it that way.
They're making humans.
Yeah.
They're making humans in their body, and they have to like make sure that everyone's safe around them, because every now and then men will murder them.
Right, or
rape them.
Exactly. Jesus.
Crazy.
Sorry, ladies.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But you really think about it. It's like, what a mad relationship.
Yeah.
It's mad. The relationship between males and females,
Yeah.
it's mad. That's why I always laugh at dudes who get, like when guys get jacked for their divorce money, it's like, come on, you're going to be all right.
Yeah.
You got all the terrible things that could go wrong.
Right.
That's just, you just got jacked for some money.
I like that perspective, actually. I kind of puts it on perspective. You're just like, yeah, that's...
Nobody raped you and killed you.
Yeah, we raped you and killed you.
Look, people get into bad relationships.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not happy that someone ever gets into a bad relationship. But if you get into a bad relationship and she's just a gold digger, and it's one like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Like, I've had so many friends that have been like, yeah, my fucking ex-wife, she wants more money, I got to go to court. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. But you can't get raped or murdered, player.
But it's
know?
like, you fucked up. You shouldn't have married her, dummy. Should have known. Should have known she was crazy.
Would you rather get raped or murdered?
Raped.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. I
You
I
sure?
don't want either one.
Obviously.
But if a guy rapes me and I'm still alive, then I get to murder him.
Oh, shit.
You got to think about it that way.
So you can get to a murder.
Yeah, you don't just go, oh, I'd rather die. No, I don't get murdered. I just get raped.
Okay.
I'll wait.
But there's like, isn't there trauma with that, though, you know?
Yeah, there'll be trauma. I'm
Yeah.
not going to enjoy it. Yeah, it's going to be terrible. Yeah, but it's better than being dead.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's good.
No. But
It's
no,
not.
all right.
But for me, as a man, as a human,
Yeah, I get
would
to go hunt
rather
that
be
guy.
raped than murdered.
Okay.
For sure.
Then you go John Wick after that.
100%. Yeah.
Just so everybody fucking knows.
100%.
Don't rape me or I'll murder you.
Yeah, I'll have a new goal in life. But you got to say goodbye to everybody before you do it.
Oh, because you're done after that. You're not
Probably.
going to stay alive.
Yeah, it's not John Wick. John Wick just drives home.
Yeah.
They arrest you. If a dude fucked you and then you kill him, and they go to you immediately.
Yeah.
They go, hey, did you kill that guy who fucked you?
I mean, by the way,
Like me?
Yeah.
No. What happened?
I mean, what does a cop say? You're just like, dude, he raped me, though. You're just like,
Yeah, well, you can't
there's
just
a law. You can't
murder a guy because he raped you.
OJ says there are rules, so you can't murder
I'm just
people.
saying.
Yeah, I'm just
Hey,
saying.
Twitter world.
Can't murder
Gotta
people.
make a shirt.
Hey, Twitter
Someone's
world.
got to make a shirt
Yes.
soon.
With
Not him, but
OJ's
someone's gonna make a
face.
shirt. Someone's gonna make
I
a shirt.
wonder if like he would sue you, right? Because like there's people that if you made a shirt, like if you made a Conor McGregor shirt and you had some quotes on it, you were selling it, he could like maybe sue you.
If you keep his face off of it,
Yeah,
probably be
or
all
he'd
right.
come to your house with like a bunch of dudes and like take all his stuff back.
But
or
if you
something.
have a picture of OJ's face, like leaning into that selfie camera, it just says, "Hey, Twitter world."
yeah,
I mean, come on,
it's the Twitterverse, by the way.
Because you keep saying it. No.
Twitter world.
It's OJ's world. It's hey Twitter world. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
He did.
That shirt would be giant. It's probably being made right now. There's nerds that are listening to us right now that are going. They're just gonna hit pause right now.
Yeah,
And make
Twitterverse. Yeah, you just made OJ some merch.
hey Twitter world.
OJ's got
No,
merch.
he's not gonna get that money. The money all is gonna go to abused women
Good.
and waiters. Waiters who've been murdered by boyfriends. God damn. With a knife too. Personal
And they
shit.
never found that knife.
Yeah, who had that knife?
I mean, damn, OJ.
Damn, OJ.
He went for like 70 and like an ex-convict. He looks good.
Was playing golf all day.
Was he?
That's all he does.
Even like, I
Plays
mean,
golf. Goes
yeah.
out and plays golf.
He looks great.
He seems to have at least a slight struggle with communicating.
Right. And walking.
He seems like he's got a little slowness to his voice where he's forcing it. You know what I mean? Which is probably CTE.
Oh, is that CTE?
Yeah.
But he sounds pretty
Could be
clear.
Pretty clear.
Yeah.
But there's a hint. There's a hitch. You know, you get it. You see it in fighters where just there's you never know because it might just be you're tired, right?
I'm thinking he's
there's
like-
some
he's-
days,
yeah.
but there's some days where I'm jet lagged or tired or I'm really stupid. I
mean-
don't talk that good.
He also, like, he did beat 2 murder cases. That'll make you a little,
And
like,
he's
that'll
in
take
his
something out of you.
70s.
Yeah.
He's in his 70s, right? Isn't he?
Yeah, he's in his 70s, yeah.
But still, there's a struggle, slight struggle to the way he's talking that makes me think he's dealing with some sparks. O.J. Simpson worried he has CTE. I have days that I can't find words. Yeah, 100%.
But CTE makes you murder people, right? That should. I mean,
it could be.
I mean, would you use that today, OJ?
That's what his lawyer had said.
Oh, really?
One of his lawyers had said that had O.J. Simpson been, it was a lawyer or was it a medical advisor? Maybe medical advisor?
Medical advisor said, I would bet my medical license that he has CTE.
Yeah, but he was also saying that it would have been a part of the defense.
Right, it would have been a part of
the crime had happened today.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, right? That's what happened to Aaron Hernandez, they were saying? CTE?
Dude, with all of them, man. Yeah. And obviously you're in a super violent sport, too. It's like the most violent. And then you're gonna have a high capacity for violence,
right? Yeah,
you know, I mean that is, and then on top of that, if your fucking wirings, because you've been smashed so many times, and they do get smashed, and their wiring does go for some of them, fighters and
haywire.
They get a little haywire.
Chris Benoit,
that was terrible. That kind of shit is so terrifying. Guy could kill his family. I mean, and many people that have experienced extreme CTE have wound up, when they committed suicide, donating their brain. Like saying, you know, like that one dude, Junior Sal, he shot himself in the chest, right? So that they could look at his brain. That's hard, man. That's hard. I mean, that's
how many
hard
fights have you been in? How many times have you been concussed?
I don't know. I don't know how many times I've been concussed. I've never been knocked unconscious, but I got TKO'd in a kickboxing match. The last fight I ever had, I got cracked. I got cracked with a left hook. It was one of the weirdest times I've ever been hit, because I'd definitely been hit hard before, but I'd never been hit where my legs stopped working. They just stopped. They just stopped. Like, he hit me. He caught me like right at the tip of my jaw with like a left hook that I didn't see coming, and my leg just went whoopsies. They just gave out. They gave out, like they shut off.
There's a nerve in here, you're saying, that's going to like...
You get hit and your jaw goes sideways and your head twists and your brain sloshes around in there.
Yeah.
And it's like a bolt of electricity. It's like everything shuts off. It just shuts off. But I was still conscious. But I was like, oh, shit, what is going on here? Like, this is crazy. And I was like, all right, get back up to your feet. So the referee was counting. He got to 8 or something like that. I got up to my feet. They dusted my gloves off, and the kid came at me again and hit me with an uppercut and another punch and dropped me again, and then they stopped the fight. So I was never unconscious, but that was the worst I'd ever been, like, beaten in a fight, where just knuckle sandwiches, sparks flying.
Oh, Jesus, dude.
But that was the last time I ever fought. But other than that, there was a lot of, like, training sessions where you get kicked in the face or punched, or there's a lot of those.
Yeah.
It just happens. And most of the time, you know, if you get hit full blast, it's an accident.
Can you get tested for CTE? Is that a thing now?
They test.
There's no age test for CTE?
But they have tested a few people while they're alive. They have
to actually look at the brain to find the stuff.
So they have to drill a hole in your brain?
Yeah, to prove, to like have undeniable
Okay, so you got to die first.
Yeah, they like to do autopsies on people with CTE, and they have crazy atrophied brains. Like the brain of an 85-year-old person with Alzheimer's disease. It's really nuts, man. Like, their brains are fucked up. There's all these weird proteins get developed from the concussions.
Yeah.
It's fucking...
Well, like calcifies the brain or something?
It does horrible things. It eats away different parts of the brain. There's like these little dark spots and holes. Man.
Right.
I'm not exactly sure what the mental process is, but the medical process is, rather. But they...
It's almost like that's like dead spots. Like your brain's dead there.
It's when they always describe...
There we go.
Former NFL player confirmed his first diagnosis of CTE in living patient. Yeah, we had talked about this before.
Okay. So recent, yeah.
So they're able now to get some sort of an accurate reading of what your brain looks like, and they can see the CTE without having to open you up. But I think most of the time it's when a person's already dead. Maybe their detection methods are getting better. Listen, man, if you look at that brain, go back to that image when the guy's poking at the brain again. He's looking at the X-rays or the MRIs. Just look at that. Just look at that thing. That which is protected by a thin layer of bone is where all of your fucking thinking takes place. All of it. It's an organ. And you get punched in the face, all of that is just like detaching from the walls. all the connective tissue. What is that stuff called? That real weird stuff that sits between. What kind of connective tissue is that described as? Between the brain and the skull. There's like a specific name for it.
Oh, like that thin
The
layer
stuff,
of yeah.
And that stuff gets ripped.
Ugh.
Gets tears free, and you're fucking.
Which when you get hit, you're saying?
Yeah. Sometimes people develop internal bleeding after fights. Like,
Jesus, dude. Yeah. Combat sports.
Crazy.
I mean, it's your. Oh wait, another guy just died, right? Another boxer.
Another boxer. 2 boxers died in a very short period of time. Yeah. Some people think that they should shorten fights now. That they should make them like 8 rounds.
What? Because guys are just bigger and faster and stronger.
I mean, people just want to mitigate the thing,
the damage, right?
Mitigate the damage. But
What do you think?
If you did that in the high level fights, you'd miss amazing fights.
Right.
Like Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. If that wasn't 12 rounds, when Wilder knocked him down the 12th round and Fury rose from the dead, we would have missed one of the greatest moments in the history of the sport. I mean, that was an amazing moment, man, for 2 reasons. One, because you see how fucking hard Deontay punches.
Yeah.
And 2, that Wilder, who looked like he was dead to the world, rises up and then outboxes him for the rest of the round. Survives Wilder chasing him down. And then outboxes him. And then even tags Wilder. And has Wilder covering up. That whole round doesn't take place if you only fight 8 rounds.
Because it's supposed to be a test of endurance, too, right? Not just strength and power.
For sure, yeah. I mean, maybe if people were only fighting 8 rounds, it would be worse because they would go harder.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
It's
and they'd be worse fights because you'd exert all your energy in the first 5 rounds.
The only argument against that though is kickboxing, because in kickboxing they've always had less rounds. Like kickboxing, like a Muay Thai fight, like a lot of times they'll fight 3 rounds or they'll fight 5 rounds.
Yeah, but
they never fight more than that.
Come on. I mean, because that's.
Yeah,
that's insane. I mean, you're talking about tree trunks hitting somebody. You know what I mean?
So awful.
Yeah, that should only be 3 to 5 rounds.
You ever gotten a Charlie horse, like a really bad Charlie horse? Yeah.
I had one like recently where like my whole leg stopped, and I was like, "This is possible." Like, I didn't know it was possible. Your whole leg stopped just from a Charlie horse.
There's levels to it, but the worst I ever saw was Jose Aldo fought Uriah Faber.
Really?
And Jose Aldo was one of the most vicious leg kickers in the history of the sport. Oh my God, his leg kicks were insane.
What year is this? I had to have seen this fight.
2012, maybe.
This is like one of Faber's fights before he's becoming big at that point. 2012.
Yes, he was fighting for the title. It was for the featherweight title, I believe, or the WEC title. Boy, I feel like that was like, okay, this is what it was. If I'm correct, I think I'm incorrect.
Yeah.
Is that in the WEC? Yes, it is. Yeah. So I think what this was the UFC and the WEC had a pay-per-view, but it was just it wasn't quite the UFC yet, so I don't think they called it anything. I think they just called it Aldo versus Faber, and the UFC promoted it. I think that was how they got around something that they were trying to do. Dude, that is Aldo in his prime, son. That combination right there is called the Dutchie, where they throw a left hook to the body and a right leg kick. But this just showed you how goddamn tough Uriah Faber is. The impressive performance for sure offensively. I mean, Aldo was in his full prime. Yeah. He was amazing. God. But what's really impressive is how Uriah Faber was able to endure. I mean, it was...
How many rounds did this go?
It went the full distance, full 5 rounds.
Yeah.
What's that? The leg. Yeah, then you see his legs afterwards. Fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
When did they start doing 5-round main events for the UFC?
That wasn't early, or I don't think they grew to that.
I feel like I'm remembering it's been this way for quite a while, so it's hard to remember the exact year, but they didn't used to. 2011.
So this is like this decade.
2011.
That's when they started going to 5 rounds for main events.
UFC, Dana White says all UFC main events to become 5 rounds.
Right, but before that, championship fights. Were championship fights always 5 rounds? I'm trying to go back to the early days.
At this point, 5-round fights have been contests have been reserved for title fights only.
Yeah, that's what I said. When did they make them 5 rounds for title fights?
Before that even.
Yeah, when did they decide that a title fight's 5 rounds and a regular fight's 3 rounds? What was that? I wonder if that was from the beginning. Because you got to remember, in the beginning days, they didn't even have time limits.
Really?
No.
Well, it was just you went to somebody got
They
submitted.
had a lot of fights where there was no time limits. They were terrible.
And you just fought till somebody tapped out.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Like especially in Japan.
Yeah.
Like Hoist Gracie had a fight with Sakuraba that went like 90 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, in Japan, they had a different way of looking at these contests. They would make crazy matchups where there was you can't win by decision. You could only win by knockout. They would like Crow Cop, who's like one of the greatest strikers in MMA ever.
Okay.
Because he came from K1 kickboxing. He was big in K1 kickboxing, then made his way over to Japan and started fighting in Pride. And the first time he fought Vanderlei Silva. It was like a big time striker too.
Yeah.
But they had a special rules match, and the special rules was if it went to a decision, it was a draw, no matter what. If no one got knocked out, it was a draw. And if they fought on the ground, it could only be for like 15 seconds.
Okay.
It was like some crazy rule.
So it's basically just boxing or that's kickboxing.
Yeah, I forget what the amount of time was, but there was a limited amount of time where they could fight on the ground.
Yeah.
So I think
This must have been badass.
it was crazy
Yeah.
because Crow Cop had the balls to step into MMA, like really with very little real MMA training. It was
Yeah.
mostly just as a kickboxer.
Boxer, yeah.
But then he started, as his career got further, he got better and better at stuff and takedowns. But so Japan would do that. They would make fights where one guy wears a gi, the other guy doesn't. They made fights with Bob Sapp, who was like 370 pounds, against a guy who's 200 pounds.
Jesus Christ.
They
And
didn't
you
give
just
a
sit
fuck.
on the guy? Yeah.
Just smashes him. Just smashes. They made a bunch of like horrible mismatches.
Yeah.
They'd make Vanderlei Silva fight someone who was just deathly scared of him, that was going to get pummeled into the ground, and they did it just to watch, so you could watch Vanderlei smash somebody.
Yeah, they sound like circus matches.
They had crazy fights, man. They had crazy fights.
And you went over there to call the fights or just to watch them?
No, I only watched them here. I've never been to Japan to watch
Okay.
fights other than the UFC. We did a UFC out there once. That was fun. They're really, really polite.
Are they?
Yeah, in between, like while the action's happening, they're sitting there quiet and polite. Like you don't hear a lot of like screaming and crazy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then they're very they applaud like when things happen.
Is that good for a broadcast?
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's not bad. It's not bad, but it is different.
Yeah.
But like
how
when
was like Tyson and Buster Douglas? Like, was that loud?
I wonder.
Right?
I wonder. I don't remember.
Like all those fights over there. Yeah, you're saying like they're quiet. I mean, that seems like it sucks.
But
There's no energy.
early on, they were super knowledgeable. Like early on in mixed martial arts, like if you watched fights from Japan, if somebody passed guard, everybody would cheer.
Okay.
They would
So
go, yes, like
Smart audience.
Yeah, they know exactly what's going on.
Okay.
They're well educated. And someone gets a mount, they start clapping, and like that's it's just a completely different kind of reaction from the audience.
Fuck with that.
Strange. It's cool though. It's like when you watch the UFC events from Japan, it's changing. They're becoming a little bit more used to like being rowdy and having a good time. But in the old days, you could hear the corners crystal clear. So the corners
You're
were
not supposed to. Yeah.
Press down with the butterfly, down with the butterfly. Look out for the right arm. Look out for the right arm. Okay, keep that overhook. Keep that overhook. And you would hear that, like, but he could hear it too. Everybody could hear it. So the guy who you're fighting is hearing the advice against him.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh
Like,
wow!
crystal clear because there's no noise.
I mean, that must make fights. I mean, like just long and boring because they all know like the strategy now.
No.
No?
It's still crazy. It's still
All right.
crazy. Just because someone knows that you're trying to get their arm doesn't mean you're not going to get their arm. It's still crazy. It's still crazy. But it was really interesting because you could hear everything. You hear everybody yelling out.
It's definitely not Vegas. Yeah, Vegas is like anybody screaming.
Yeah. Well, you know what's I find sometimes the most enthusiastic crowds are the ones that don't get the UFC there very often. So when it does get there, they get fucking super pumped.
Right.
I can't believe it's there live, you know?
Like where?
I mean, there's a lot of cities where we've gone to where like Texas always has wild ass UFCs.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
That's a good place for UFCs. But there's a lot of cities that just don't get it all the time. Chicago, whenever we're in Chicago, it's big.
You've never been to Chicago?
No.
Okay. Oh, when you go. Yeah.
Whenever we're in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go to Chicago all the time.
Those are big drinking towns, though.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Like I feel like any like fighters town or big drinking town, they're just gonna be like doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah. So when we were talking about reparations earlier, like that, I don't think they should give money to people. Like,
not
you can get free
individually.
money.
That's what I'm saying.
But what I think they should do is definitely put money like. If you were a guy who was the manager of a city, let's look at that. Let's look at the city like a city was a store, okay? And you're the manager of the store. but the section over near the cleaning products, everything explodes all the time, and it's fucking dangerous, and mops are falling, and you're like, oh, we got, everything's in order, city's good, revenue looks good. Like, yeah, wait, the fuck are you talking about? You're the manager? What are you doing about this? Look at this spot.
Yeah.
He's like, what? Oh, no, that's the cleaning products. I mean, I don't know what to do about the cleaning products. They explode. The mops fall off the racks. I wave my hands at it.
Okay.
You would never tolerate that.
No.
But a mayor, like that Pete Buttigieg guy.
Booty egg, yeah.
He could have all sorts of chaos going on in his town while he's out there campaigning for president. Right?
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
You don't have to fix it.
Yeah, but I mean, well, how do you feel like I'm saying it's an infrastructure problem. So how do you fix it? I mean, so you're saying take what 15% or whatever percentage from like all these big corporations, and then like they should be paying for. I'm not even
saying that.
Right.
But what I was saying though, if there was a direct line, I mean, I don't know if you even can do this anymore at this point in time, but if there was a direct way you could show this is the amount of money that came from slavery, and they still have.
I mean, how are you finding that out though?
I don't know.
Yeah, there's no way, because by the way, we can't even trace like what I don't know what plantation I was even at, you know what I mean, or where my family lineage is.
Well, there was a bunch of Nazi money that they traced. They've traced Nazi money. They've definitely done that. That's
with,
a
little more modern though. I mean, I feel like that's still you're saying from 16 or 15 or 14 till 1860 something.
Yeah, we're dealing with like an 80-year gap.
Yeah,
it'd be hard.
Yeah,
but if there was like some clearly established business that used to be a plantation,
right?
I don't know, man.
Also, Jewish people like to keep things in account, so like you can trace that money. Like, there was no.
Here's an unpopular thought. This is what I think. I think we should probably consider doing that with definitely areas that were impacted by slavery, but then also areas that have been impacted by economic crisis too. Like, not just the areas impacted by, like, we have to fix the bad spots in the country, all told.
Yeah.
Like, full stop. Like, we got to fix those people that live in West Virginia in the mountains.
Yeah.
The fucking pill people.
I mean, any poor community, yeah.
Any poor community,
Yeah.
yeah. But first, like, as a general acknowledgement of, like, what this country was founded on, you got to fix the areas that were fucked up by slavery. The idea that you shouldn't. It's like, aren't we on a team together? Okay, aren't we Team America? Right. Well, Team America would want all of its members to be in good shape, in good state. We want less losers, right? Here's the way you get less losers. You provide more opportunity, and you fix the spots that are fucked up. And there's
that comes with education, though, Joe. I mean, you're talking about.
Education.
I mean, the illiteracy rate is crazy down there. So you're saying idiots, you know what I mean? But it's like it's
no. I'm not saying that they're idiots. What I'm saying is they're stuck in a horrible place,
right?
And that you're an idiot if you don't want to fix that.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
I get that.
I think it's just unpopular. Like, no one, like, here's what everybody wants to say. We want to get out of Afghanistan and out of Iraq. Right. Yay. We want to provide free health care for everyone. Yay. We think that education should be free. I'm going to give you $1,000 a month. Yes. Right? But no one's saying our whole thing, if we looked at it as an ecosystem, there's disease spots. There's spots where it's not going well. It's sick. It's not doing well. There's too much crime. There's too much pollution. There's too much environmental factors. Whatever the factors are,
taking advantage of communities.
Those whether it's environmental factors like the water in Flint, Michigan, or whether it is the crime-ridden streets of Baltimore or Philly or wherever it is where it's bad. Find spots where it's bad. Those spots have to be addressed. Like, you don't just address it with law enforcement. You got to figure out a plan to slowly reinvigorate those spots where there's no severe poverty left.
I like what you were saying earlier, even about the Italian cities, how they do the mom and pop thing. They keep the money in the community, right? They haven't sold out to the corporations who are just like draining those communities.
Right, but the thing is, it's like it's so tourism based. They kind of don't have to, because it's like the places where I'm going to is like I went to the Amalfi Coast, which is like really popular for tourism, and you go to these places. There's no incentive. Because there's people there all the time.
Right, but I'm saying, like,
there's no incentive to give in to corporations.
But instead of like my parents having to go to Costco, maybe there's like a hardware store down the street that has like, I'm just gonna go to Pete's because he's got cameras over here. So you're keeping money in the community, that kind of thing, or like local grocers, that kind of thing. Like, oh hey, I'm not gonna go to Vaughn's or a Ralph's. I'm just gonna go to Edna's because she's got the cabbages I like.
Yeah, but what if you don't have that? then the only thing you got is Target or Walgreens. Like you just got to deal with.
I mean, I'm saying, but that's that's their
Yes.
that's those poor communities. I'm saying, like they're putting those there and they're just draining those people of just like maybe getting opportunities that they can thrive in, like Italian communities. You're saying.
They also make it financially almost impossible to compete. Like you can't sell things as cheap as they can.
Right.
They get better deals. Like if you have a mom and pop shop and you're selling like shovels or something like that,
Yeah,
you can't sell them as Home Depot. Home Depot's
We
gonna
made
have
these
that
ourselves. I don't give a fuck.
Those shovels would be like $5 less, and that's all anybody cares about. That's a problem with people, right?
Well, then how do you build infrastructure then? I mean, I'm saying
I don't
incentivize
know.
parents because like that's gonna help those guys like maybe it's gonna help the whole family figure out what do we need to do about Junior here or the little lady here and like figure out how we're gonna make them better members of society.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that if we could figure out how much they would get and where the money would come from, and if it did work, it would be insane.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about how much money you have to spend on the criminal justice system, on the healthcare system, from assaults and all sorts of things when people go bad. Right?
Yeah.
And what would you save if through incentivizing education and making sure that people get compensated financially for education success?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it starts booming, and then you have way less crime. That would be amazing.
I'm saying, bro. I mean, that almost feels like it's a no-brainer. I mean, if you're talking about infrastructure, that's infrastructure.
Hey, dude, why don't you run for president? You got any other awesome ideas? Because that's an awesome idea. That is actually. Look, I'm obviously a financial moron. I don't know if that would how much that would cost, but if it could be done.
How much reparations going to cost? I mean, like I hear it keeps, and they keep saying we need to have it, but it's like, what does that mean? Is that an infrastructure thing, or are we just giving people money?
Isn't it a weird one? Because it keeps coming up.
Yeah.
It's like it comes up, then it goes away, and it's like, hey, we never fucking sorted this out.
I mean, I'll tell you this. I remember on it was Willie Hunter. He put on Twitter. He put his Venmo. He said, "White people, if you want to give me reparations, my Venmo's open." And he made like I don't know, like $100, and then we went on the road, and then he bought us Skittles,
Beautiful,
iced tea, and Hennessy.
Reparation money.
That's just like you can't do that with the community, man.
Do you ever see when Hotep Jesus walked into Starbucks and
Jesus
demanded his reparation coffee?
No, I never saw that.
He's an interesting character. I've had him on my podcast, but there was a Starbucks that got busted for telling these young black guys that they had to leave. And it became a big deal where they developed a new policy where they're never going to just tell people to leave. And so the problem with that is they're like, well, what about homeless people? Now you got homeless people that like to hang around Starbucks, and the policy is they can't even tell them to leave.
Right.
But
so now I got these black people and homeless people now Starbucks.
The story was really it was big in the news that Starbucks was racist and that they had kicked. So Starbucks was like apologizing publicly. So while that was going on, Hotep Jesus like, I'm gonna go get some free coffee. so he went into coffee and he goes, I can get my reparations coffee. I'm here to get coffee for free because I heard y'all were racist. And so the lady's like, yeah, I heard that. And she pours him a cup of coffee, and she gives him a cup of coffee.
I heard that. I love that.
She heard that there was something racist going on.
Yeah, so she gave free coffee to. Oh,
it's hilarious.
Good shit, Hotep Jesus.
It's hilarious, but it's Starbucks. Like anybody can go in there now.
Yeah, but it's all it's whatever coffee. You're a big coffee guy. I'm not a big. I'm a black tea guy.
Dude, I love coffee. We got a new coffee from Onnit called Fuck Yeah Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared to try it. Apparently, did you see it? Did you see the bag?
I have some. I've tried it.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It's really good.
But it's got caffeine crystals in it.
Yeah, I didn't know what that meant. But
how much caffeine does it have?
I just made a French press of it, so I couldn't tell.
Were you off the wall?
I don't even think. I think just like weed, I don't think caffeine affects me like normal people does. I can
Jamie's
take it
a
and go to
robot,
sleep.
dude. Jamie's a robot. Jamie takes edibles. They don't do a damn thing.
Really, Jay?
Oh my God!
I've
it's
tried
a
to
trick.
OD.
Have you?
Yeah.
Do not get into an edible eating contest with Jamie.
Yo, that's $1 million idea.
He's a
edible
robot.
eating. Oh, you'll kill people.
He's a robot. He just throws them down. They don't do a goddamn thing to him.
I don't
That's
know what it
amazing.
is. Yeah. One out of 20 times may be a small effect, but yeah.
Yeah, but like a small effect for like 500 milligrams. And
He's got good genes. He's got really good
You
genes.
took 1,000?
I took 1,000, and played some video games, and 4 hours later, I was like, all right, I'm a little tired. I'll stop.
You got like that gene though. There's like a gene that actually, let's go back to HIV. There's a gene that some like people have, like you can't get it.
Yes, there's some people that
You're
can't
like
get
that
HIV.
with your edibles.
Isn't there a movie about that where like they use a guy because he's got the one gene? Oh, what is that goddamn movie? I feel like I've seen it recently. Oh, I did. Okay, here's what it is. It's called The Man Who Shot Hitler and Then Bigfoot. And I saw it recently. It's a Sam Elliott movie.
Whoa, okay. An actual,
Dude,
wow.
it is an interesting movie.
And he can't get
was
HIV.
Good. I enjoyed it. I watched it on a flight. And I downloaded it because I was like, what is this?
Right.
What is The Man Who Shot Hitler and Then Bigfoot? But I'm a big Sam Elliott fan, and it got good
Love
reviews.
the mustache.
So I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. It's really interesting.
Okay.
I mean, they're not hiding it. He shot Bigfoot and then Hitler. The man who killed Hitler and then Bigfoot.
When did this come out?
I don't know.
And he can't get HIV.
I'm
Came out last year.
telling the thing was that he had a very specific gene. They brought him back to service because after he'd killed Hitler, he's an older man. But he had a very specific gene that made him immune to this disease that Bigfoot had, and that Bigfoot was sick, and that his virus was killing all the wildlife that was anywhere near him. And there was a dead zone around Bigfoot, and they were tracking him. And they had to have someone go in there and kill Bigfoot. So they bring in Sam Elliott when he's like 70 years old. Spoiler alert, to go in and kill Bigfoot. It's fucking cool.
All right.
I enjoyed it, man. I mean, it's not 2001: A Space Odyssey, but it's a fucking cool movie.
It's definitely a B movie. I mean, damn, I didn't know.
Is that Bigfoot?
Where?
This little shadow thing?
No, they see him pretty up close.
okay.
I mean, maybe they don't show it in the preview, but it's pretty up close. It's gnarly.
Is it?
I don't want to say too much.
Yeah, completely
say too
spoil
much.
it. But he does kill Hitler.
Yeah, well, killed Hitler and then Bigfoot. It says it in the title.
People really want to kill Hitler. That's like a thing that movies are doing, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I was watching a video of Hitler tweaking. Hitler's on speed, he did a lot of speed.
Yeah.
He's at the 1936 Olympics, and he's sitting in the audience like this, like tweaking.
Yeah, I was like an actual footage of him.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's actual footage. Apparently, somebody had taken it and sped it up and made it unrealistic, just to show, make it look like he's really, really, really tweaking.
Yeah.
And then it was hard to find for some people to find the actual speed footage, but this
There's our guy.
this is the actual speed footage. They believe. So he's just rocking back and forth, tweaking.
Wow, he does have crackhead energy. That's amazing.
100% tweaking. So, I mean, there's no way you rock like that if you're not tweaking.
He's like fidgety too.
Where's his left hand? What is happening there?
He's touching.
He's got a glove.
Yeah.
His left hand's got a glove, and he's rubbing a gun on his dick.
He's
Go back
jazzed
to that.
up.
Let me see that again. Replay, please. Look at this. How weird is that, man? How weird is it to see that guy? Go full screen.
So he jerks off with his gun.
Look at
He masturbates in a way.
He's literally. I'm just joking about a gun. I don't think it's really a gun, but he's definitely got his hand on his dick. He's like a guy who's freaking out. It might as well be a meth head, right? And you see a
How
guy
do they
like
let
that?
this guy I mean,
Look at him. He's got something he's touching his dick with. See it?
yeah, exactly. I
There's
mean, you
something
said
at
gun.
the
I mean,
very
it
end.
looks like
His
one.
hand's curled over. It does look like he's got something in his hand.
Dude, he's rubbing something on his pecker.
Do you have a cane?
Yeah.
Oh, he's rubbing his cane on his
Maybe he's
dick.
holding like
Oh,
a
he
cane
yeah.
handle.
Maybe? Is that it?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
Yeah, he's.
But look, go towards the end of it, and we'll pause when you can see the hand right next to his dick. It's so weird.
It is moving.
No, watch when you see his hand. Get that bar out of the bottom. There it is. Right
over
here.
the pants hand job that he's
Yeah.
giving himself.
Look, he's got something in his hand, and that something in his hand is in between his legs.
You said cane. I mean, you
I'm
might be
gonna Google-
right.
I'm gonna Google
You
cane.
said. I
Could be a
mean,
cane.
you were joking about the gun, but I mean, it could be.
Could be a cane.
Could be a Ruger.
It might be a gun. I think it looks more like a cane now that I'm looking at it. But either way.
Yeah, he's definitely rubbing his dick. Yeah, he's.
Imagine if Trump was on TV just tweaking, fucking tweaking hard. Oh, fuck China. Fuck these fucking trade relations. Fuck Jeffrey Epstein. Fuck all these assholes. Just tweaking. Could you imagine?
Doesn't he? He knows Jeff, right? Jeff Epstein.
Apparently he knew him.
Okay.
But apparently they had a falling out over a mansion. I was reading a story about it.
Over like when he sold him, or
No, they were both trying to buy some super exclusive property that was like the crown jewel of Palm Beach. It was this 6-acre mansion that overlooks the ocean. It's on the beach. It's beautiful. And
That's
it's
a hell of
apparently
a plantation for girls.
well, well, it's also one of those things where, like, if you're a part of these communities, there's certain properties that are iconic, and to own them would elevate your social status. Like, did you hear Trump bought the mansion de Chambon? So, like,
Okay,
it had like
some
a name.
elite shit. Yeah.
It had like a name to it. The place is off the charts. If you see it on TV, like, you get a sense.
That's not it.
What is this?
I thought that was.
It's a cane.
It's a
Apparently,
cane.
he's known to having a famous walking stick.
I thought you were showing Epstein and Trump.
He did have the cane. What was the house?
Yeah,
Google
Palm Beach house.
the house that they competed about. Trump and him competed over a house. Like,
Got
many,
8
many years ago.
waterfalls.
Well, it's really old, I think.
14-year-olds in every room.
It's like if someone was like a super billionaire character and
Right.
I don't know, name some famous man, like the Hearst Castle.
Okay.
The Hearst Castle for sale. They'd all be trying to get it. Trump and Epstein's friendship reportedly soured after they fought over a $41 million Palm Beach mansion. 2 weeks after the home's auction, cops received a tip about underage women at Epstein's house.
Yeah, say.
Oh, shit.
Man. That was
Could you
Candyland. Yeah.
Let's see if they have pictures of the place. Is that
That's like a
pictures of the
Taj
place?
Mahal. Look at that thing.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, that thing's gorgeous.
Dude, it's dope as fuck. The images are insane. That's it right there. Click on that. Look at that place. So
Wow.
you get it. They're fighting over who's got the biggest dick on Palm Beach. If you own that motherfucker, you bought that place, like, you're king baller. Everybody wants to have the party at your house, right? I mean, so I guess there's just a few of these type of mansions down in Palm Beach, but there's a lot of them. I mean, there's I don't know what the number is, but there's a good solid number of them. Where these guys are competing against each other.
Yeah, that's fucking incredible.
It's sort of like
It's like the White House.
well, it's sort of like those houses in Malibu. Like, there's some houses in Malibu where you look at, like, there's one crazy mansion overlooking the sea, and then another one next to it. Like those
Joe, I don't live in your
places.
neighborhood, Joe.
I don't live there either, man.
Oh, real shit.
Mostly burnt to a crisp.
Okay.
It did.
I'm sorry.
That Point Doom area, it's crazy. You fly over it now, it's like just so many houses
Just
are
charred.
gone. Just charred. Yeah. But those houses where the people do live with that kind of a view, I mean,
so
those
dope.
are super, super valuable. And in Florida and West Palm Beach, apparently,
Look at
is
that.
super, super wealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$135 million. I mean, property.
$135 million, amazing Italian Renaissance style mega mansion in Palm Beach, Florida. If you buy that, you're king cock. You're just swinging dick all over. Come on in.
By the way, why did God make the dick size? Why is that?
To make you work harder.
Really? That's really the reason.
Yeah, if you had a giant hog, you'd be just waiting around, waiting for girls to come to you.
I'm saying, but he can make dicks all the same size, and there'd be no competition.
No. Can't make ears the same size either. Sorry. Not noses, not eyebrows, no
Really?
uniformity, no eugenics.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to work harder. You got a little dick. You got to figure out how to get by in this world.
Like you're God's brain.
And those big dick dudes, man, they just don't have the motivation to hardly ever get anything done.
Right.
They're just too busy slinging dick. That's you skirt around them. You pass them in the game. Take them on the inside turn.
I didn't know that.
That's what it is.
All right. I guess
I don't know.
I believe
man.
in God again.
Look,
now.
it doesn't make sense that there are sloths. Okay, why is that fair? Why is there?
I bet they love their shit, though. I bet they love it.
They fucking hate it.
Do you think so?
Yeah, they fucking hate it.
Come on.
They're always getting jacked by eagles. You know how
that sucks. I
embarrassing it
didn't know
is
that.
when the main thing that eats you is a bird, and you're a mammal. How often does that happen? If you're not a mouse, it's not a field mouse and an owl.
That's hilarious, by the way. I didn't know. Yeah, that they everybody talks shit about sloths in the animal kingdom.
Bro, they all talk shit on sloths.
Yeah.
Sloths move so slow that mold grows on them. You ever
Oh,
seen
that's
them?
gross.
It's crazy.
Is that really? That's how lazy they are, and they just can't be any better.
They just move real slow. That's just what they do, and mold grows on them.
And mold. That's gross.
Yeah, I was at a wildlife sanctuary in like Silmar, I think it is.
Yeah.
Take my kids there, and they got a sloth. Oh my god, it's so cute!
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is this thing moldy? And they're like, oh, it grows like moss grows on it, like a
That's how
green,
slow it
green fungus, like a tree. Like, look at that! Look at all that shit.
Oh
See?
my god.
That's moss growing on them because they're so goddamn slow that plants can grow on them.
I mean, is that healthy? I mean, it looks great, by the
Just
way, guys.
works.
Yeah.
It's almost like camouflage.
Yeah.
But one of the main things that eat them
Is it moss?
is this eagle called what is it called? Harpy eagle. Thank you. Yeah, it's a giant eagle that lives in South America that just fucks up sloths.
And just eats sloths. Man, sloth meat.
And monkeys too. It eats monkeys too. But look at that, it's carrying a sloth.
Damn. I mean, well, yeah. That's not a big sloth though.
No, but it's a big fucking.
That's a
eagle.
bird. Yeah.
Fucking hands.
Yeah,
I mean, look at those thighs.
yeah, dude. That thing is all power, all power, and I think that's the biggest eagle.
Yeah, the harpy.
I think that's the biggest eagle.
I mean, damn. Yeah, that's majestic. I mean, those are small sloths. Are these like baby sloths that it eats? Not like full grown?
No, they eat a sloth. They'll eat anybody. Whatever. I mean, the sloth can't really defend itself.
Armadillo.
Oh my god, he eat an armadillo.
Really?
Look how
Okay,
it's
yeah.
crushing the armadillo's body. How crazy
Huge
is
feat.
that? How crazy is how it can crush the armadillo's body with its claws? That's one claw. It's got it with one hand. It's one-handing that thing.
Yeah.
What would it do to an arm, a human arm?
Oh, it'd
rip
fuck
it
you
right
up.
off, right?
It would tear your meat apart. We're so doughy, man.
Yeah.
We're so so mushy. It would just tear your arm apart. Just clawing onto your arm, like that's why those dudes wear those crazy arm sleeves when they have a falcon on their arm.
Right, because it would just,
Yeah,
yeah.
just-
It
you'd
would,
be bleeding.
yeah, because we're really easy to slice up.
Yeah.
We have
Look
no
at that
armor.
fucking thing with a rabbit. Woo! Look at its legs.
That thing's badass.
It is a beast.
Yeah, it
one's
doesn't
got-
look real.
That one's got a little band on its leg. It's been captured. So they're either. Is that a carving?
No.
That's real.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
They leave the. Oh, they leave the rabbit there, and it swoops in to get the rabbit. It's hard to see what the fuck it is because all those watermarks.
Yeah.
It's so obnoxious with the watermarks.
Protect your shit.
I get it, bro.
What is that thing right there? Is that a fox that's about to eat?
Right here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, they eat foxes.
Damn.
got
No, that
two
looks like they're
animals.
fighting.
Yeah, no, it's like
It
a
looks like
fox got
The
a
fox is fighting
rabbit
with
or
the
something.
eagle over a rabbit. They're
Yeah.
battling.
Okay, they're fighting
Yeah,
over
so
food.
it's-
All right.
Yeah.
Fox fighting over rabbit. All right.
Fox, the eagle stealing.
Well, just eat the fox.
Eagle grabs sloth from tree.
Oh, is that is that the sloth?
You want to see a video of it? You should watch
Yes.
a video of the sloth because it is kind of fucked up. Look at that.
Is that a
grabbing
deer?
That's not
Is that a
real.
buck?
It's not
Oh,
real
yeah.
bald eagle. That's
Okay.
fake.
One thing they do though is they do. Sometimes you do have to say do and then do again. One thing they do as well is they grab goats and fling them off the side of cliffs. You ever see that?
No. Oh, that's hilarious.
That'll be
They
next.
just fling them off?
Yeah, they grab
That
them.
looks more real, but I don't know.
Why do they do
Oh
that?
yeah, that's real, bro.
Yeah.
That's probably
It's just
real.
midair, I guess.
But there's video of it. They do it to kill them so they could eat them.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say yeah. Don't they? Yeah, all right, that makes perfect sense. I was wondering why I thought they're just doing it.
They're just assholes.
Yeah, I was just kicking them off the cliff.
Well, no.
That would be hilarious and perfect.
Well, that's what cats do. You know, like house cats.
Yeah,
You ever see the numbers of how many animals house cats kill per year?
you're kidding.
It's in the billions.
You're kidding.
Billion.
Cats
B-I.
kill other
Yes.
animals by what?
Yeah,
Like by
watch
just
this. Watch this. Yeah, we'll show that right after this. See, look, he's dragging the goat off the cliff and then drops it to have it smash against the rocks. Look at that.
Jesus.
Look at that. I mean, look at that. That is dark.
Oh,
And then it hits the ground, and then the eagle swoops down and starts eating it. So it's like planning on throwing this thing off. It understands the consequences. It understands that thing can't fly. So it's not just grabbing it, swooping down and grabbing it.
dude, it broke its neck.
It's throwing it into the rocks.
Yeah.
Throwing it off the cliff so he can eat it.
I mean, that's brilliant.
Fucking crazy.
That's brilliant.
What was the other thing we were just talking about that I said?
Billions bird killed. What? How many things birds
The
killed?
numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. The sheer numbers of birds that house cats kill. Just house cats. Just meow out in the backyard.
How?
Just murder.
Oh,
Just
they murder. Okay,
death,
okay.
Murder, death. Just
Shit.
jump up and grab birds. I had this cat. Her name was Spaz.
Mm-hmm.
She was a fluff ball cat, and she would bring me these birds. 1.4 billion to as many as 3.7 billion birds in the continental U.S. each year.
Damn.
Cats
Good job.
kill from 1.4 billion to as many as 3.7 billion birds. Just birds. That's not mice. That's not squirrels. Just birds. Just birds. I had a cat when I was growing up, and he killed a squirrel and was walking across the street with it in his mouth. It was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. This
Did he
cat-
eat it or just carried it in his mouth?
His name, we called him Kitty. We were very unoriginal when we were kids. I had a name for him that was like the Black Panther in a Conan the Barbarian book, but everybody fucking
Hated
gave
it.
me the veto on it. They never called him it. They just called him Kitty. So we eventually just wound up calling him Kitty. But anyway, Kitty
Very
was
South Park.
walking across the street with a squirrel in between his legs. So he had the squirrel by the mouth, by its neck rather, in his mouth, and he was walking with the squirrel underneath him, just dragging it with it in between his legs, and it was almost as big as him.
That's
And
fucking nuts.
I'm looking at this. I'm like, what a creepy little thing I went with.
Because squirrels have like plague, don't they?
No.
Yeah, it's like that squirrel plague.
Squirrel plague?
Black plague, right?
Wait a minute.
Maybe.
No, squirrels. Yeah. This was like last decade, I think, or maybe even this decade.
What's the squirrel plague?
Yeah, there's like a black plague for squirrels.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Well, I know there was a couple. I think it was a man and a woman.
Right.
Here we go.
Los Angeles.
Whoa.
There we go.
Plague-infested squirrel caused the closure of a California campground this week after it was found during a routine trapping. Los Angeles County health officials confirmed.
This is 2013.
Actually,
yeah.
don't ever touch dead squirrels. The thing
Bubonic plague.
Bubonic plague.
Holy shit.
I think there was. I think that's what those people got that ate that marmot liver.
Ugh.
There was some people that got sick and died from the plague really recently, like within the last couple of months, because they had eaten a raw marmot liver. A marmot is like some kind of a rodent, and they had killed this marmot and ate its liver. And
And this is here in the States?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Mongolia.
It was in Mongolia? I thought it was in America.
Mongolian couple died.
Right, but they didn't die doing it in America?
Thank God. Jeez.
To make sure that they didn't come here and get it, but this says
I thought the story was they died over here, and like they had come over here and tried to reenact some sort of a ritualistic meal
Oh.
where they eat this raw liver, and they ate this raw liver and got the plague, son. Does it say where it happened?
I think it was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like certain countries in Africa too. There's like you can like eat human, right? Like cannibal, like
Legally?
I don't know if it's legal. I know there was like a story I read on it or something like that about these like places in like Africa. Yeah, you can like eat human.
This is ultimate stoner talk.
It really is. Sorry about
there's a
that.
place, bro.
I read about it. I'd be reading.
Well, do you remember I don't know if you ever saw this. There's a Vice piece on Liberia.
I think that might have been it then. Yeah.
Vice Guide to Travel in Liberia, where they were saying this guy his name was General Butt Naked. And General Butt Naked, he had become a preacher later in life.
Yeah.
But when he was younger.
Preacher butt naked.
Yeah, when he was younger,
Pastor
he
butt
would go
naked.
to war totally naked. And he would shoot people.
Oh, that
And,
was in Beast of No Nation.
Was it?
Yeah, you see Beast of No Nation?
No, what's
okay,
that?
it's with Idris Elba. He plays like a Idi Amin or a what's that thing called? Coney, whatever it was. But anyway, he's got these child soldiers basically, and they just go from like tribe to tribe and just kill it, and they just genocide. Just kill a bunch of tribes.
How about that? Whatever happened with that?
Yeah.
Coney. Remember that?
I think he's still like a warlord.
But do you remember how it was like this gigantic movement and it was this big thing and everybody was talking about it, and then this one guy in
What are they
San
gonna do?
Diego that was
Right.
a part of starting it, he wound up being naked, wandering around the street, masturbating in front of people and some crazy
Yeah,
shit.
that
like
made him, like,
Did I
not
make it-
credible.
Did I make that up? He was doing
No, you're
something
right.
along those lines, right?
You're right.
He basically had a schizophrenic break or a psychotic breaker. I'm not a doctor. Something went wrong. Something went wrong. He blew a fuse.
But that's the cat. Yeah, they called him Tripod in that. But I think you're talking about the same guy. Like when he went to war, like as
Yes.
a child soldier, yeah, he was butt naked.
I think it's a different guy because this guy, his name literally was General Butt Naked, but I think
Okay.
there's a bunch of them that did that. But anyway, on the Liberia show, he said that he busted these street cart guys selling human meat. And he said he knew because he knew what meat tastes like because he had eaten it.
What the fuck?
So he knew that it was human meat. He knew it wasn't
Yeah.
pork. He knew it wasn't beef.
Liberia is crazy, by the way.
Bro.
I mean, like they sell, they have slaves out there,
Just
right?
imagine the gall of going to the cops and saying, that man is selling human meat.
Well, how do you
They're
know?
like, how do you know? Well, because I've eaten it.
I mean, fuck.
Fuck.
Would you eat human?
It depends on what you have to do to stay alive, right?
Right.
Like, where are you what's that? Like if you were in that movie Alive when they're scooping the dead
Okay, you're
dude's
saying
butt
that.
with a broken spoon.
Yeah, like Donner Pass or something like
Yeah,
that.
if you're gonna do, what are you gonna do? But then
I'm saying like as a foodie, like you go to like a restaurant.
as a foodie.
That's what I'm saying. Like if they cook it up nice, you know what I mean? You get some Tabasco.
You found out you eating a dude's foot.
Ugh.
You got foot soup.
Or dick
Yeah.
soup. Fuck.
Yeah.
A dick burger.
Well, there was one guy. Okay, here's another. There was one guy story. But there was one guy that I had read about where online he requested that someone kill him and eat him.
Damn, that's his
And,
death wish.
Yeah, and I think it was in Germany.
Of
And
course.
So they met together, got together with the guy. The guy cut his dick off, and they cooked it, and they ate it together. He ate part of his dick, and then the guy wound up killing him. And
Wait. So this guy was alive and they cooked and ate his dick? Mm-hmm. Oh, they ate his dick together.
they did it together.
That's so German.
Dude, it was this guy's idea. He requested it.
Okay.
On like Craigslist or one of those things.
Let's cut my dick off and then
Eat
it.
We're gonna eat it, and then you're gonna kill me. And he wanted the guy to eat him too. And I think the guy did eat some of them, but there was a question as to whether or not.
I mean, a person's a lot to eat.
How do you prosecute that? What do you do? Like if someone said, "I want you to cut my dick off," and you cut their dick off, I want to cook it and eat it, and then you both cook it and eat it. I want you to kill me and eat me. Okay, and the guy kills him and eats him. Like, what is that?
What is that?
It's not regular murder.
I think I'm reading the same story.
Is that manslaughter?
And they filmed it.
Oh, they filmed it?
Yeah, they filmed it.
Of like him cutting his dick off and then eating it?
Yeah, I think they filmed the
There
whole
might-
murder.
What's the
Yeah, the whole
threshold?
thing.
Oh, so it's like a snuff film.
Yeah,
Sort of, yeah.
yeah. But the guy requested it.
That's gnarly.
Yeah. Is that pull it up so we can read it?
Well, this one's from 2003. That's why I'm
Yeah.
not sure if it's
Okay.
the same one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I offer myself to you unless you dine from my live body.
Yeah.
Wow.
He posted a personal ad saying seeking well-built man, 18 to 30 years old for slaughter. Whoa.
For slaughter.
He wrote, "I offer myself to you and will let you dine from my live body, not butchery, dining. Whoever really, all caps, wants to do it will need a real, all caps, victim, all caps." Exclamation point. The two started swapping increasingly explicit emails, and on March 9th, 2001, Braden took a day off work, never to return. He sold everything he owned, including his treasured sports car, wiped his computer hard drive, and bought a one-way ticket to Kassel near Frankfurt. Armin met him off the train. They bought painkillers at a chemical shop and headed back to the house. At first, Brandis got cold feet and wanted to return to Berlin. Muse said, but he reconsidered, swallowed painkillers and medication to make him sleepy, he said. Now, do it. Muse set the video camera rolling and went to work with a kitchen knife.
Wow, dude.
We went into the bedroom. How do you say his name?
Bathroom.
Muse? The bathroom. How do you say his name? Muse?
Yeah.
M-E-I? Muse? Muse told the police. Brandis lay in the bath so the blood could flow away, and Brandis slowly began to lose consciousness. Muse passed the time reading a Star Trek novel. When the Berliner finally passed out, Muse cut his throat.
Now
After
this
he was consumed over a number of months. The 30 kilos of flesh he had put in his freezer.
Wow, dude.
Muse went on the internet in search of a new victim.
Oh, so he became like a taste for this.
Frustrated that he could only find people looking for cannibal role plays, Muse began boasting about Brandis. Someone from the chat room informed the federal police, who swooped in on Armin Muse's house in December 10th last, surprising the coy cannibal and startling the unsuspecting neighbors. Whoa.
Now that's that sociopath, psychopath thing you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Because are you a psychopath or are you a sociopath at that point? I mean, because how do you not feel empathy even for a guy who's telling you to kill you, but you're just looking, to kill somebody because you have a taste for blood now?
It became
Human
his
blood.
thing, right?
Yeah.
I bet whatever he did during the day was boring, and I bet that, as psychotic as it is, was exciting. Mm-hmm. And then he became
A serial killer.
chasing that feeling. Yeah. What is it, Jamie? What's the matter?
Oh, he's got it.
Why did that pop up? I found a website that had 7 or something interesting facts about this guy. This is the first one.
He sauteed and ate the penis with his victim.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they cooked it together.
Sauteed it. Wow.
Look at that image. That's not really
No,
how
it's
it went
Saw
down.
or something. Or
Yeah, that's enough though.
Prometheus, yeah.
Does it say like how they sauteed the penis?
It said it was too chewy for either of them to enjoy, so they proceeded to fry it up with some of his flesh and fat and a bit of garlic.
Oh, dude, that's hard. I mean, that's not hard, but that's.
I guess it's like you're worried about the end, right? And then you just say, "I'm going to take control. I'm going to bring the end on." And here it is. We're eating my dick. This is over. This is not.
We're eating my dick.
Yeah, this is not going to last.
Eat my dick.
And then he goes into the tub to die out from warm water with his dick hole bleeding out. Just really insane stuff.
I mean, that's really yeah. I mean, to live through that, by the way.
Well, you got to think that there's just such a wide range of crazy people.
Right.
And there's some crazy people like that want to be eaten, and some crazy people want to eat you. And if they find each other.
No, that's the beauty of the internet. You can do that now. You couldn't do that back in, the Donner era or even the 90s when that Brazilian soccer team ate each other.
Well, how long do you think that guy could have kept it together? If he just ate that one dude before he could find another guy that would let him eat him. And if that was his thing, would he just start murdering
himself?
people?
Right, exactly.
Or would he go Dexter? And
that's what I'm saying. Like bad
guys?
people, yeah. Ooh.
That show.
It's fucking terrifying. Just to go there, kill the guy. Read a Star Trek novel, by the way.
Why the guy's bleeding out in a tub.
Yeah.
After you ate his dick.
That's some psychopath shit.
Picking dick out of your teeth.
Not that I'm going to share it with you guys.
What?
There are pictures of this online.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Don't do this.
Yeah.
I don't need this. What?
I don't want to see, yeah. So dick is too chewy.
You were gonna say, I was like, don't do this. Whatever you're going to do, don't do this.
It said the jurors had to seek therapy after they watched the video.
Oh, of course
I bet.
they did.
There's got to be some PTSD with that.
Of course they did. You imagine being a juror and they force you to watch that video.
Yeah, I don't want to see anybody. Yeah, I don't want to see you eat a dick.
And you're the only ones watching it, right? Because you got to think that it's not like they're broadcasting it on television.
I mean, on Fear Factor, you guys did it like it was always like the big thing of like eating somebody's penis, right? Or some things. Some things
Basically
penis.
every day.
Yeah.
No,
bull
one time,
penis.
One
right?
time they had to eat dicks.
Right.
Yeah, they had to eat like bull dick, deer dick, pig dick, or something like that. I forget what the dick were, but it was a bunch of different kinds of dicks.
No human dick. Yeah.
It's just something so strange. I had a bit about it that, like, never in my life did I think that I'd be standing in front of a girl with a plate full of animal dicks, going, "You can do it. Hang in there. Keep going. Keep going. You control your mind. Control your mind."
Yeah.
Coaching them through it.
Nice.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, through eating pig penis.
Ridiculous.
Pig dick.
But it's like you can't.
I don't know what
You
you're
can't
thinking
kill
of,
yourself.
Jamie.
It's not legal to kill yourself. It's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Suicide's illegal. And it's not legal to eat people. And even if someone tells you to kill them and eat them, you're not allowed to.
Even in Germany, cause that's assisted suicide, right? Technically.
Yeah, but it's cannibalism too. Like
Right.
we don't allow that.
No.
Mostly.
Humanity doesn't allow that, right?
Mostly.
Yeah.
'Cause there's some tribes. There's a few tribes that still practice
Right.
cannibalism. They're particularly. I guess I was reading.
I'm just not interested in
Review this.
learning what a human tastes like.
Well, it's probably not good.
Right?
We're
yeah.
gross.
Yeah, we eat a lot of trash.
Cannibalism. There's no laws against cannibalism per se, but in most, if not all states, they've enacted laws that indirectly make it impossible to legally obtain and consume the body matter. What?
That's when you put it that way, yeah. It doesn't sound too appetizing.
If you can get it
The body matter.
somehow.
Wait a minute. Wasn't there a show on CNN where one of their guys, they wanted him to eat charred flesh? Like he was examining different religions. Do you remember something along these lines? It was like some outrageous thing.
Was that Gupta? Sanjay or the...
No, I don't think it was Sanjay Gupta. It was someone else. He visited all of these different religions and people that live their lives in different weird ways, and one of them
I know
was
the
this-
show you're talking about. Yeah, I don't remember that episode.
God damn.
You're right, it wasn't Gupta. It was another correspondent.
He eventually got fired for CNN for saying something about Trump, which is hilarious. Yeah,
was reporting
Reza
on-
Aslan
Yeah.
sparks outrage after eating human brain in new show. It takes like charcoal. See, the problem with that too, by eating a human brain, is that maybe these cults or these tribes or whatever he's involved with does do that.
Mm-hmm.
If the brain has prions prions are what gives you mad cow disease.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can get sick from that and die.
What is that name of it? Jakob Creutzfeldt disease.
Okay.
And it's basically mad cow disease, and you get it from prions, get it from brain tissue.
Oh.
So they survive like thousands of degrees. Yeah, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. That's it.
Okay, so it must
it's a
be
rare, degenerative, fatal brain disorder, and affects about one person. So some people get it without cannibalism, but it also does happen. See, one person every million worldwide. In the United States, there are about 350 cases per year. Crazy.
So it must be like really charred then.
It doesn't matter, I don't think.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it does.
I mean, he's still alive.
Yeah, well, he might not have had the prions of someone who has a disease.
Okay.
But if that person did, that's why it has to be the temperature that it has to be cooked at. It's supposed to be insane. I think prions can survive like more than 1,000 degrees for a long period of time.
Okay.
And that's one of the fears of like mad cow disease. Like you really are not going to be able to cook it well enough to keep that shit from getting in your bloodstream. Yeah.
Fuck.
See, Google how long. Jamie, you're Googling off the chain today. You got extra Google.
A lot of flesh talk today.
Yeah.
I was just looking up stuff about
what
it.
temperature do prions survive in? Because I think it's more than 1,000 degrees and they can still survive. Which I remember reading that going, oh, this is terrible. Mad cow disease, zombies.
Zombies, yeah, exactly. It depends. I mean, you hunt your food, so you're not worried about that.
Yeah, but you should be worried because there's a thing called chronic wasting disease. And chronic wasting disease is essentially a form of like mad cow disease, like very, very similar type of degenerative disease that affects deer, that it's affecting an increasing number of them. They're spreading across the country.
Yeah.
Now, it hasn't made the jump to humans yet.
Okay.
But it could.
So I don't want to worry you here, but
you can't hunt deer no more, man.
prions cannot be destroyed by boiling, alcohol, acid, standard autoclaving methods, or radiation.
That's what I'm saying.
Or radiation.
That's what I'm saying.
So they're like roaches. They'll survive everything.
Well, you know what they are? They're God's poison.
Okay.
When God's like, enough. Like, no fire, no flames, no ice, no water.
Yeah.
You ain't fixing this.
Yeah.
This is coming in hot.
Yeah, and this is still, you can't.
Prions are forever.
Wow.
The lethal proteins are in the hard-to-kill Hall of Fame and maybe more common than we realize. See, this is what I'm talking about. So these things, this is what affects people when they get mad cow disease. And this is also what it affects cannibals. Creutzfeldt-Jakob or Jakob-Creutzfeldt?
You got it the first way.
Creutzfeldt-Jakob.
CJD.
Okay. Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. But it affects cannibals. They found out that cannibals in New Guinea, cannibals in New Guinea exhibited the same sort of symptoms as people with Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. Google that, Jamie.
Yeah, don't fucking eat people.
Cannibals that get Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease.
Those poor cannibals.
Well, they're eating brain matter. That's what it is.
Yeah, just eat the flesh, fry the flesh.
Just eat the booty.
Yeah. Just eat the booty.
Oh, here you go.
Only pork butt.
They evolved a resistance to it.
Because they were getting it so much. Oh my God, that's so crazy.
Wow.
The
Good for
practice
them.
of cannibalism in one Papua New Guinea tribe led to the spread of a fatal brain disease called kuru that caused a devastating epidemic in the group. But now some members of the tribe carry a gene that appears to protect against kuru as well as other so-called prion diseases such as mad cow. So they evolved.
They evolved that generation. Wow. They're like a super bug.
Fucking life finds a way, man.
To eat more life.
Finds a way. I wonder how long it's going to take before we're physically addicted to phones to the point where you need it to stay alive.
I mean,
like you need
they're not using
warm
them.
clothes, right? In a cold environment, you need a warm house. How long before you need a phone? Like, here's the thing: the phone's going to help you. It's going to make everything better, but you need it.
It's almost like a heart monitor. Like, I'm going to need this.
You have to have it.
Wow. It's going to take generations.
If you just call it an access point to the internet instead of a phone.
Yeah.
Right.
A way to access that
don't
information.
just call it a phone. Call it an electronic soul.
Well, I mean,
Neuralink.
the phone is the only with the access to that matrix, which is the internet, and that thing's not real. You know, unless you live inside of it.
It's not real yet.
No.
It's drawing you in, though. How often do you use your phone every day?
I mean, obviously, yeah. Hours.
Well, obviously,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah.
Everybody just gives in.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, I'm using
on
it. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm above it. I'm just saying it's.
And I'm not even sure why. Like sometimes I'm searching Google News just to see if something's interesting.
Yeah, and I'll
Show
look at
me
the same
something
news
interesting.
feed.
What do you got? Nothing in politics? Okay. What about entertainment? Nothing. How about science? Give me some science. Come on. What do you got for me? What do you got for me? Just constantly, instead of thinking about what I'm doing, constantly searching for some new data. It's weird. Right?
It's happening. Yeah, we can't get rid of it.
No.
I mean, you're talking about these are like this generation of kids. Like this is the 2 girls 1 cup generation. You know what I mean? Like they get to see it at like 5 years old on their phone.
Right.
That's going to change. Yeah. So I think when you're saying that's going to take generations, I mean, it could be a few generations removed from like where you don't know any better if you don't have a phone.
Wow.
So we'd be the faces of death generation because like our parents probably never saw that shit, but we definitely did.
They saw it in the war, son.
Yeah, they saw it in person. We saw it on tape.
You weren't there, man.
We're the first bitch-ass generation.
I mean, look. I mean, my generation. Yeah, we're definitely bitch asses.
Well, when you go back to like World War II, like everybody was signing up, right?
Right.
And that was the
Everybody's-
thing.
Yeah.
People just signed up for the war. But when they got around to Vietnam, I was like, what?
Yeah. Well, why were we
What
there?
the fuck are we doing over there?
They manipulated that war though, so that was different.
Yeah.
World War II, you know, Pearl Harbor happened. You know, there's no Pearl Harbor that happened for Vietnam. Even 9/11, like like the guys were signed up to go, quote unquote, fight those terrorists. You know, this faction of dudes.
Like how many guys came back from World War II with horrific memories?
Right.
Remember Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah.
That was one of the best depictions of a historical event, and to put it into like real perspective, what it probably was like when those guys were getting gunned down on the beach.
Yeah, you thought you didn't know if it was going to be you or not. Yeah.
But it's also, whoa, this is real as fuck.
And then
They
imagine
didn't-
leaving that and coming back and like you just had to be normal.
Yeah, because most movies that we saw about war, like go back to like John Wayne movies about war, they were never gory. It's like bang, oh, and the guy would like fall down, would hold his stomach. You didn't see anything.
Yeah.
And then later, even in movies like Apocalypse Now, I mean, it was still wild. It still gave you this feeling of war, but there was never anywhere near the gore of that scene in Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
When you see people with their legs blown off and their guts hanging out, and you're like, holy shit.
That's war.
That's what a war
I
really
mean,
looks
that's
like.
war. Yeah.
But we never saw that.
Nah.
You never see that unless you're there in the war or unless you're watching a movie like that. Because the movies that whitewash it, they give it this feeling of like, you got me.
Yeah.
And then Japanese
It's
were coming over
one-on-one
the hill.
always.
Bang, bang.
Yeah.
I think what they're exposed to as far as their entertainment in the 1940s, and then boom, you're there and you're seeing real war.
I mean, that'll scare you straight. Like, why would you want to go fight in that?
They were scared of the Germans taking over the world. They saved the world from the Nazis. That's one of those rare,
That's a great way to put it.
one
Save
of
the
those
world from the Nazis.
rare wars where it's not that sloppy. It's like pretty clear. You got a real
These guys
evil,
they're evil. Right.
empire. You have a legitimate evil empire that's killing people. They killed 6 million Jews,
Yeah.
or whatever the number is. What is the number? It's
They
like
always, I said
More?
5 million one time and somebody correct. They always
Yeah,
correct.
man.
It's always 6 million.
whatever the number is. Some insane number of
Yeah.
millions of people were killed by this one group of humans.
Genocide.
And there was something that History and Pictures, or one of the Twitter accounts that I retweeted a few days ago, that had they showed all these SS officers laughing and with like kids on their laps, and the caption was something to the effect of, "Don't ever think that the people that you think of as monsters are not human. Like humans are capable, regular humans are
Right.
capable of horrific, monstrous behavior if they all agree to it." And so it showed these SS officers, and they just look so normal and laughing and ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's these Jewish skeleton people living in a cage just a few yards over.
Well, isn't that what a cabaret's about? Kind of, right? I was watching the movies on CNN.
movie?
They're kind
Cabaret?
of saying like cabaret is like it's showing how like all these funny like nice people, and they're Nazis.
So I didn't see that movie.
Yeah.
Who's in that movie?
I forget who's in it, but I know it's like a musical.
Liza Minnelli.
Yeah.
Liza Minnelli.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never saw it.
Yeah.
Is that what it was really all about?
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I watched that. I learned about it through Tom Hanks' The Movies on CNN.
Well, you've obviously never seen The Man Who Killed Hitler and then Bigfoot.
Nice.
All of it would be clear. You'd
Sam Elliott's my guy.
You understand why the Nazis are so bad. Yeah,
We haven't had, you're right. We haven't had somebody as evil as the Nazis.
Right.
Right. But they've tried to make guys like that, The Viet Cong, Saddam Hussein, Bin Laden.
but
right?
that one was clear cut. Like everybody
Yeah, that was,
like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Let's go get Hitler.
We
Yeah.
got to stop this.
Yeah.
This motherfucker. When you see him scream in front of the crowd, like,
Yeah.
And
Why
they
would you
go,
follow that? They're all high on fucking methamphetamines, aren't they, though?
let's say yes.
Okay.
Even if we don't know.
Eat that, Nazis.
He was tripping. That video of him, he was
Yeah.
definitely tripping.
Yeah.
So he was rubbing his cane on his dick. He was
Yeah.
tweaking.
But a whole country's into that. They're just like, yeah, this is our guy. We're going to do whatever he says.
Yep. They didn't even know.
Yeah.
They didn't even know like what it meant to have someone like him run a country back then. How drugs like Pervitin and cocaine fueled the Nazis' rise and fall. Wow. But despite Hitler's anti-drug rhetoric, Nazi Germany used a little courage pill called Pervitin to take Europe by storm, and it turns out it was pure methamphetamine.
Wow.
There it is. Pervitin, methamphetamine hydrochloride.
Who made that?
It looks like the fucking Germans did because it's in
Yeah,
German.
I'm saying like who, like what company? What company's making Pervitin?
Some Nazi company.
Okay.
So they were just giving out everybody meth.
Yeah.
That a methed up country. That makes sense.
That'll kill 6 million Jews. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It says still couldn't ditch an Axis power meeting, so Hitler's personal physician injected the Fuhrer with a drug called Eucadol. Think oxycodone combined with cocaine to perk him up. The physician took a significant risk in doing so. After all, Hitler was prone to latching on to addictive substances and refusing to let go. But in this case, the injection seemed warranted. Hitler was doubled over with violent spastic constipation, refusing to speak to anyone. Immediately after the first injection, and despite his doctor's wishes, a revived Hitler ordered another injection. Hitler then left for the meeting with the gusto of a soldier half his age.
Okay, so it was like, yeah,
He was methed up, man.
yeah, he thought he was taking like super pills or whatever he was taking.
Liquid cocaine and meth and oxycodone. Hitler reportedly spoke for several hours without stopping.
Yeah.
At the meeting with Mussolini, Hitler reportedly spoke for several hours without stopping. The Italian dictator, who sat massaging his own back, dabbing his forehead with a handkerchief, and sighing, had hoped to convince Hitler to let Italy drop out of the war. He never got the chance.
You never got a word in edgewise.
Oh my God. So can you imagine being poor Mussolini? You're over there talking to Hitler. He's methed out of his fucking mind. And you're trying to tell him, look, Italian, we don't want to go to war. We want to back out of this. We'd like to just kick it back. Good luck. We hope for the best. And Hitler comes over all methed up.
Have you hung around Squeakers?
Yes.
Okay.
Here it says, Jamie's trying to show us this. This is what, he won't let it go.
Yeah.
This is but one episode amid Hitler's almost daily drug use, which included barbiturates,
Hey, old school.
bull semen,
Bull semen.
testosterone, opiates, and stimulants such as Pervitin, a courage pill. So he was taking meth.
Isn't bull semen like taurine or whatever?
Bull semen is taurine?
Isn't it like...
It sounds like it would be.
Yeah, like Red Bull is like, it's supposed to be like something. It's supposed to be like some kind of...
Bull jizz?
Yeah, bull
Really?
jizz. Yeah. Take
Boy,
that, Red Bull.
That's,
Yeah.
again, some serious stoner talk.
I've heard taurine. Am I right?
Is he right?
Taurine is bull semen.
Oh my God,
Bro,
taurine
in
is a
here,
key
Joe.
ingredient in Red
named
Bull,
after it, I think.
Monster, Rockstar, and other energy drinks. It's an organic molecule, not an amino acid, named for the Latin taurus, which means ox or bull, because originally taurine was extracted from bull semen.
Red Bull semen.
So originally taurine was extracted that way,
Okay.
but it is an ingredient in bull semen.
Okay.
So the taurine in Red Bull probably doesn't come from bull semen, but taurine is in bull semen.
Okay.
So Hitler was getting his taurine right from the tap.
From the
You think
source.
he just sucked the bull's dick? The best way is to suck upon it.
Suck the dick.
You get it from the tap when it is fresh. It is 700% more potent. The Fuhrers just gets down there. They hold the bull back with straps and buckles. It's kicking. And Hitler gets his sloppy Nazi mouth right over that fat bull hog. And that is apparently the origin of that upper lip mustache. That upper lip mustache was to catch all the succulent drops when he's choking on jizz.
The flavor savor.
When that giant bull dick is pummeling the back of his throat and fills it up. That when he comes out of his nose, because a lot of the jizz comes out of his nose, that's just enough mustache to catch the jizz. So that's why he had that mustache. A lot of people don't know.
I can't believe that many people follow that kind of guy. I mean, like, and everybody's just cracked out.
It's a perfect jizz catching mustache. If you think about it, if it's coming out of your nose, which it does do, right? Like milk does.
Right.
Right? You know, you cough when you're drinking milk and it comes out of your nose.
So semen's coming out of your nose. And,
Semen's coming out of your nose.
and he's just,
He's catching it, savoring it.
No.
No.
You're saying, I mean, I'm just saying. How
No
many people
one-
How many people were in Germany at that time? How many people were
Millions.
were SS soldiers?
I wonder. That's a good question.
Right.
How many people actually joined?
Yeah.
Well, I think you had to be a part of it, right?
Right.
Otherwise,
Because you had Hitler Youth as well.
Yeah.
It was a whole, the whole society was that. It was
Yeah.
all, it became Nazi Germany.
National Socialist. What is it? What is the actual? What does Nazi actually stand for?
I mean, didn't shut up for 7 hours.
Dude,
That's
poor
the most-
Mussolini.
National Socialism, I guess.
That's
The
it.
National Socialist German Workers' Party is what it was. Yeah.
Oh, so they were socialists. All right.
You imagine poor Mussolini.
Didn't he kill more people?
I don't know how many he killed. How many did Mussolini? Stalin, didn't he kill the most?
He killed the most. Yeah, he's like he's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of mass murder. He's got the points record too.
Man, how do you, when you're a person like that and you didn't used to be a Stalin,
Yeah.
right? You were just a person, and then all of a sudden you're in a position of power, and then all of a sudden you're responsible for the death of untold millions of people.
Oh yeah, almost tens.
So Mao was the most by a long shot.
Okay.
Look at Mao.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah,
Stalin,
78
it's
million.
Hitler, and then Stalin.
17.
Yeah.
No Mussolini on the list. Okay.
But Mao was like 400 million, right?
It says 78, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay, Google Mao might have been responsible for 400 million because there was an article I was reading yesterday.
400
Yeah.
million people?
Yeah,
That's
they revised the amount of people that they think were dead directly because of Mao.
Oh, okay. Oh, so like indirectly, or
Yeah.
you're saying directly killed 400 people.
Some insane number of people were killed during Mao's reign. What are they saying?
That's crazy. Wait. There's a place
45
called
million.
Mao's Kitchen.
45 million, maybe I added a
In
zero
Mao's
to
great
it.
leap forward.
Maybe I added a zero, most likely. So 45 million. And the other one said 70?
78.
So it's between 45 and whatever the other number is. But so he's number one with a bullet.
Wow.
He's the guy responsible for the most death during his time.
Again, though, there was a kitchen. There was a restaurant here in Los Angeles called Mao's Kitchen.
Jesus.
That's disrespectful as fuck.
Tyson has Mao on his arm.
Oh, does it? Well, I mean,
Yeah.
he's supposed to kill people.
Well, it was when he was in jail, I think. He probably read some philosophy from Mao.
I mean, yeah, those guys. I mean, those guys write. They write good books.
Well,
Mein
no.
Kampf is it's pretty good.
Is it? Did you read it?
I read it in English. Yeah.
Are you allowed to read it now? Like when you read it, you're probably allowed to read it. Like if you buy,
Right. I don't think you can buy it today. Yeah, but
if you
it's,
tried to buy Mein Kampf on your Kindle,
if you're
Would you get
into like
flagged?
sales stuff, it's like it's just like talking about the sale. I mean, it's obviously talking about killing Jews, but
what is it talking about? Like the sale of?
it's talking about how they can overcome, and it's like his struggle is basically just it is a propaganda book, but it's like from a sales perspective, you're just like, I see where he's coming from. Not saying that I'm condoning it, but I'm saying you're like, okay, there's so much passion in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like a memoir.
So he's selling to the people that they can overcome the economic situation that Germany's in, and they can rise above.
Yes.
And if you tried to buy that today to read it,
Yeah.
people would assume
I was
you
young when I
can't?
read it, by the way.
You
though,
can?
but I would think it was, Oh, you can buy
get it
Mein
on-
Kampf.
You
There
can buy
go.
it on Amazon. But come on, son, you know you're on a list.
I am now.
right?
I read it in the library. They had it in the library.
But if you buy it today, you don't
right,
think you
you're
get
definitely on the list. Yeah,
For
if you buy a
sure.
Confederate flag, you're on a list now.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you buy a Dukes of Hazzard DVD set,
You're on the list.
you're on a list.
Are we doing Jeff
Especially
Foxworthy?
if it's one on the cover, the one with the General Lee leaping over the fucking canyon with the Confederate flag clearly.
Some book that I think it was maybe the one you talk about a lot, but I remember in the 90s or late 90s, people were saying if you went into the bookstore to buy this book, you're on a list, and if you had to go buy it with cash and like wear a hoodie and cover your face and
Yeah,
shit.
I remember that. There was always those stupid rumors. Yeah. What was the book?
I think it was the cross book that you've talked about, the Sacred Cross. Or
Oh, the Sacred Mushroom and the Cross.
yeah, yeah.
Was it really?
That's the one I would heard of. It could have. That rumor might get passed around a lot.
Yeah.
For 5 years or something.
Do you remember A Course in Miracles? A Course in Miracles was a book that was going around, I want to say in the early 90s. There was a bunch of people that were telling you to read some book by this couple, and they were channeling an angel.
Really?
They wrote this book. And yeah, it's one of those books where like, I don't know if it was any good because everybody that recommended it was so annoying.
Right, like Eat, Pray, Love, or or was that the other one, the Secret?
Well, it was extremely spiritual, air quotes.
Okay.
And it was all about how to live. And it might be an amazing book, but I remember everybody that wanted to recommend it, I always had like a
All right.
like that might.
Yeah.
And I was a young man at the time, and I was very dismissive about a lot of things that I wouldn't be dismissive of today. But I remember it was like one of those books where annoying people loved it.
Yeah. You've got to read this book, right? That kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it's like this book transformed me. It's a gift. I'm giving you this book because I want you to read it, and it's going to transform you too.
Wow. Yeah. This is
Maybe
me
it's
giving
not.
my love to you.
Maybe I'm reading a book about someone who said they were channeling an angel, and that's nonsense.
Right.
How about that? How about I have to think about the fact that it's a nonsense person?
Yeah.
who
There's
wrote
the website for it.
it. Foundation for Inner Peace.
Right out of the 90s.
Look at the light. Oh,
I mean, it looks like the Dianetics, you know what I
Just
mean?
the Heaven's Gate
Yeah.
thing.
yeah. Oh.
Exactly. Yeah. It's very cultish.
What is the what's the origin of it? Am I correct? Did it come from someone who like channeled an angel or some shit like that? Isn't that the idea?
I don't know.
Well,
See what-
let's Google what is the origin. Containing curriculum aiming at assisting readers in achieving spiritual transformation. Am I conflating this with some other book?
We were talking Mein Kampf.
Where someone was
It's almost the same thing.
but where someone said that like someone wrote it for them, that it was like written as they were channeling.
Oh, really? Like, oh.
There's someone on Oprah to talk about it in 1992.
Did they say that? Or am I making this up?
I'm trying to see what it says. I'm reading too quick.
So it's in Oprah's book club.
It's on Johnny Carson too. Also before
Wow.
that,
This book got around.
1990.
Right, but I don't think you're going to follow it,
Yeah.
find it from there. Just Google what is the origin story for A Course in Miracles. But it was one of those books where you'd, like, if you were dating a yoga teacher, you go over her house, she'd have it
Right.
on the coffee table. On your way to the vegan restaurant, let's go. You know?
I mean, because you think, like, if the Nazis do win, that does become, like, the coffee book.
She
Mein
said-
Kampf.
Yeah.
You know?
right? If the Nazis won, it's super inspirational.
An inner voice she identified as Jesus began interacting with her and acted as a stimulus, triggering a series of inner experiences that were understood to her as that, and that's what she returned.
So the same guy who wrote
Yeah.
the Mormon Bible said the same thing.
Joseph
right?
Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what it is. So I'm correct.
So it's like a Bible.
Wow, it's like one of those things. Like maybe that happened.
Right.
Maybe that happened.
I mean, it sold some books, obviously.
Or maybe you're crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe you're out of your fucking mind, and you want people to think that you're special. So you wrote these rules on how people should live, and they're pretty good. They resonate well. They make sense because you're not.
Sounds like the
100%
original Bible, too.
Yeah, you're not 100% crazy.
He said, this is good structure.
Right? We assume that if someone tells a crazy story like that, they're 100% crazy.
Right.
Like they don't have
Right.
any good ideas. Like you could be a fucking crazy person with a couple good ideas.
Mhm.
Like Mike is fucking crazy, but I'm telling you.
They said J.K. Rowling was crazy.
Oh, she's got to be crazy.
You know what I mean? So then she's
All that
got
Harry
these.
Potter shit, writing
Yeah.
about little boys.
Yeah.
That's all you're writing about?
Yeah.
Little boys and magic? Magic, you could be a little girl and be with those little boys. Everyone be happy and happy and happy.
I think you can be a woman and do that, right? You can be a dude and do that because then you're like,
Yeah, dude writing about little boys.
Yeah.
Not good.
yeah, that's definitely that's a
You
flag
used
there.
to be able to get away with it, right?
Mhm.
Like
Dr. Seuss, all those guys,
Mark
right?
Twain wrote
Yeah.
about like Huckleberry Finn and those boys.
I thought you were gonna snort that. I was like, oh, all this meth talk.
Mushroom elixir.
Ooh,
You want some?
it's gonna do to me. Make me
Lion's mane?
juice me up.
No, it's good for the brain.
Oh, perfect.
It doesn't taste bad either.
Thank you. Lion, is that actual lion's mane?
Yeah, lion's mane mushroom. Not lions, like a lion.
Right.
It's a mushroom. I just drink it all the time, and I feel like I'd be rude if I don't offer you some.
Thank you. You're the man.
Yeah, let's see.
Jeez.
So,
I was going to correct something you asked me earlier. UFC 21 was when that changed. There was a significant rule change, and they joined with the
Excellent.
Council of Mixed Martial Arts Commission. And
UFC
there were
21.
prelim bouts that had 2 rounds that were only 5 minutes then, 3 5-minute rounds, and championship rounds changed to 5 minutes. That's when they added the 10-point must system.
So prelim rounds were 2 rounds. Championship rounds were 3.
Championships were 5. That's when they
Championships were
changed it to-
3.
Yeah. Everything else was 3.
Oh,
And before that, because there were,
so before that it was 2 though. You said.
but this was also pre-Dana and pre-Fertitas. So they were still mixed,
Right.
like the Gracie stuff they were doing it, so they just had 5-minute rounds until the thing was over. Unlimited 5-minute rounds.
That's right. I remember that shit. That was madness, but it wasn't as bad in terms of madness as the Japanese ones. The Japanese ones were fucking crazy. They did so many nutty things.
Yeah.
They had so many like crazy freak shows, and they still do.
Right.
They got this lady named Gabby Garcia. She's like 6'2", 240 pounds.
Amazon.
And they have her fighting like housewives. She beats the
What?
fuck out of these ladies. Oh,
And it's all consensual, right? Like these women are signing up.
yeah.
Okay.
They like freak shows.
You're right. Yeah. Look at their game shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right,
All
what
that-
is going on with that?
It's just because I think they're such a repressed country, aren't they?
I think so.
Yeah. I think this is like I know like they have like vending machines where like guys have like
There's Gabby. Look at that.
she's a
Boom,
she's beating
son.
up housewives.
Look at the guns. Yeah, pull up a video of her giving some
Wow.
of the fucking. That's Ronda Rousey. That's not real. This is real.
That's
fight-
Gabby?
That fight's real. So look at the size of that woman that she has to fight.
I mean, like, what is up with the definition though, Gabby?
Mexican supplements.
Okay.
100%.
Nice.
100.
Jeez, Gab.
Keep it 100. Yeah, look at
Yeah.
size
You're
of
bigger
her.
than your trainer. I mean, like,
That's
God.
Vanderlei Silva.
Yeah. Ooh, that's nuts.
That's crazy. Yeah, she's a big lady.
yeah.
But so anyway, Japan loves that. That was when she was real thin.
Yeah.
At one point in time, she'd gotten like real ripped and small, and then got right back up to giganti again to win in these fucking Japanese events.
Is she in UFC?
No, she fights for I don't know which one. Might be Ryzen.
Let's see. Doesn't pop out right.
Doesn't say which one. But
Yeah. Why is she not like a? So I mean, well, she's bigger than like what every female in UFC.
yeah, she's giant.
So she's got no division.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
giant. She's
She's 6'2". Jeez.
I mean, she's in the 240-pound weight class, somewhere like that.
So she's a heavyweight.
She would be a heavyweight
Yeah.
male.
Right. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gabby. Oof.
I mean, there's no
6'2", though.
heavyweight female
Wow.
weight class.
Just her a couple weeks ago. She's not that big anymore.
Oh, she's shrinking down.
Hey,
Good for her.
what up?
Still probably 200 pounds. Damn. Okay,
Yeah.
so she's jacked and tan again.
She looks
Looking
great.
thin. Yeah.
What up, Gab?
She's strong as fuck.
Yeah.
And she's a world champion jiu-jitsu player, too. So she grabs a hold of these girls and just pummels them. But they had Bob Sapp back in the day, like I said. He was like 375 pounds. He was fighting guys who were in like the 200s.
Yeah.
He smashed so many people. There was so many guys like that fought in Japan where they had these freak shows.
I mean, crazy. So I saw one the other day, like a thing where like a woman and her nipples are just like almost like cones, and it's like the game shows like these guys are just like put their fingers in the. It's just wild. I mean, there's just so many wild things in Japan. Like you can see things like that, dude. It's gnarly, bro.
Well, they are the birth of a lot of those crazy game shows, right? I mean, a lot of the game shows, like even Fear Factor, like would
Yeah.
that have even happened if it wasn't for the crazy Japanese shows?
Well, what's in the water over there to make them think like that?
Dude.
And we were saying they're repressed, but it's also, I mean, why are they so repressed?
Have you ever seen Bazooka Man? Bazooka Man was a Japanese game show where a guy with a bazooka would show up at people's houses. Okay.
With like a real live bazooka, like with
so
a
you'd
missile
be
in
in
it.
bed.
Okay.
You'd be in bed sleeping. and Bazooka Man would shoot the bazooka at your wall above your head while you were asleep.
This is a
And they
real
would film it.
What?
They would film it.
This thing will explode
So
above your
He
head.
shoots a rocket launcher through your fucking wall.
Dog.
Boom! And these guys like, ah!
Yeah.
They wake up fucking screaming. There's a hole in the wall above their head, and the audience in Japan's like, ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha.
Do you have
And
this
they have it on
bazooka,
TV.
man?
You can find it. You can find the videos.
Bruh.
Jamie will find
I
it.
don't know if
What
called
is that? That's a real
that?
It
thing?
might have had a different name.
Okay.
Maybe Rocket Man.
Bazooka
which is
Man. Okay, so
Google-
the-
I'm pretty sure it was Bazooka Man.
And it's a real rocket.
Whatever it is, it's firing out of a cannon that's on his shoulders and it's hitting the wall
Yeah.
and it explodes. Right? Google Japanese game show where they blow up wall behind.
I mean, how do you not have like a heart attack and like when you wake up, like somebody like
Oh,
they're
you
dead
easily
asleep?
could. Yeah, you easily could.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I mean, you must like sign like a death warrant before you.
For sure, you could definitely get a heart attack though.
Jesus, and like these guys like dead asleep, and they all sign up for this. This is all consensual.
Basically,
Okay,
as far
basically.
as I understand. I don't think they sign up for it. I think they're just allowed to do stuff like that, and then they give you money.
Okay, if you survive, right?
Well, I don't think they have the same concept of lawsuits that we do over here. You know,
Okay.
you got it.
No. On my way to finding it, though, I found one. This is called The Bum Show, where girls would put their bum in a hole and a guy would kiss it or
He'd eat their ass?
something.
Yeah,
No,
basically.
yeah. Right on TV.
Okay.
I don't see the.
Can't comment on that one.
They have different ways of living.
They really do.
They have a different style. Can't hate it. Can't be hating on them. Jesus. Though.
Is it China or Japan where they have like these crazy work hours, right? Like even like factory workers or like just like the whole economy is just like work all the time, and they have vending machines where you can just like pocket pussies basically.
Oof.
Yeah, and they, like the guys will just like they'll just use those things, they'll toss them
Oh.
and just go back to work.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
I want to say that's Japan. I could be
Well,
wrong.
they're both known for their work
yeah
hours.
right.
You know.
So like sex just isn't a part of the routine.
I was watching some documentary or reading something rather on Huawei.
Mm-hmm.
Huawei's this Chinese phone company, and the guy had a bed underneath his desk. It's the craziest image. He's in his cubicle, and his stuff is above him, and he's got a bed laid out under his cubicle, and he's asleep with his like glasses. And he's
Right.
like, at work, exhausted.
Is it
working
like
for
an
this
18-hour
company.
day probably?
Who knows? man?
Yeah.
Making cell phones so we could take selfies.
Like China has like the biggest economy though.
The biggest?
Yeah, don't they?
Do they?
Aren't they number one? Yeah, the Chinese. I've been pretty right on this whole episode,
You've
Joe.
been very right. You've been shockingly
That
right.
right? Damn.
So, largest economy, China.
Yeah.
And what's number two? Is America number two? Because somebody needs to tell Trump.
Oh, he keeps saying number one. Yeah,
the
I'm
fuck?
sorry to hurt anybody that didn't know that, but China's number one.
I guess it depends on what you're using to gauge economy. As a general, it's like not just a thing.
Oh, it's not subjective. I'm sorry, it's not
like,
objective.
Do you want the
It's
GDP
subjective.
or,
All right, give
for
me.
people? Because it says our GDP is 19.39 trillion, and China's is 12, which is their nominal, but over more people, I guess it's 23 trillion. So that's technically higher. That's why it goes. I don't know what you want to
Okay.
use it.
Yeah. What you're basing your economy on. So GDP, we're killing it, but as far as largest economy, it's the Chinese.
Yeah, they got way more people. Obviously.
Okay, so that's probably why then. They're the largest economy because they have more people.
1 billion humans, right?
Yeah. Is
Think of
India
that.
bigger? Are they the biggest country still? China?
That's another good question.
Yeah.
I think it's close. It's
Okay.
a hot race between China and
Yeah,
India.
there's stuff from earlier this year saying in China and India are gaining on the U.S. as the world's top economy, or they're poised to take over next year. So I don't think
Imagine
it really
if-
just depends on what you want to.
Imagine if Trump is onto something with all these sanctions. Imagine.
You were talking about the that health insurance thing earlier. I learned a weird thing a British comic had told me when I was over in London last year doing the roast battle over there. And he was like, like you guys don't have free healthcare. He's like, but your healthcare is better. He's like, usually when I get like he had like a bronchial thing. He's like, normally it takes like 2 weeks for that to cure over here. He's like, I went to America, it took like 48 hours. So that's what we're paying for, just the better drugs.
That makes sense. Not just better drugs, but like probably more motivated doctors. But
Because they're getting paid.
are they more motivated to keep people in and out of their office and shuffle them quick and stuff them up with pills versus where in England they're not motivated by like a quota?
Right.
Maybe they're just just trying to help. Maybe it's different because they get
That's
paid
true.
a certain amount and healthcare is free and they're not motivated to earn additional profit by, suggesting surgeries or making someone get on medication. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's all. I mean, if you're talking about, and listen, I'm a doctor. I'm making money over here, right? Wouldn't you want to keep a guy, sick as possible so you can make more money out of him?
Yeah, but that's like, again, some dark conspiracy type thing.
Definitely.
How many people are really thinking like that?
Right. But I'm saying
think
like 2
most
weeks
people
compared to
become-
like 48 hours.
I think it's just a shittier system.
Yeah,
I think
that's what I'm saying.
Maybe the argument can be made that profit-based systems are more efficient because people are more aggressive because they want to make money, so they get things handled quicker.
And they
Whereas-
believe in it more. It's almost like I'm getting what I paid for.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it would be nice if people didn't go out without health care, though. The problem is, like, the idea that health care is not a human right. Well, if that's not a human right, what else do we have? Like,
Right, your human
if someone
health, right.
gets hurt and you're just going to let them die because they don't contribute enough change, they didn't put enough money in the box.
Yeah, I'm
like,
basically bankrupt now because I got a
That
scraped knee.
it seems crazy that we would somehow or another keep people from medical care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have enough money. Like, that should be like the number one thing that they take care of. Food and medical care. Food, shelter, medical care. Those things, not
3 basic
necessarily in
needs.
that order.
Yeah.
The fact that, medical, you're on your own. Like, what? How come we can't pay for that? Well, we can pay for this and pay for that, and we can fund that and fund this, and we're going to go to the moon, and we're going to go to Mars.
Yeah, but you can't have health care. Yeah.
But then again, it's like people are so resistant to socialism. Like, they don't want anybody taking over.
The Nazis weren't.
No, they fucked up, though. Look where that ended.
That's true.
Terrible.
Yeah, they're all on meth.
That's true. They're methed up. Maybe non-methed up socialists is the way to go. But the problem is people are almost all methed up here now with the fucking Adderall thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, or they're on downers like Xanax.
Dude, yeah, one or the other, but the Adderall might as well be meth.
I mean, it's
For some people.
it's cocaine.
Yeah, it's amphetamine.
Yeah.
It's an amphetamine. It's fucking straight up amphetamine. And some people it helps. Some people it works for them. But other people, they just chew it all day long and talk crazy.
Talk crazy, foaming at the mouth.
Crazy.
I mean,
Everyone's against them.
Coke is the most annoying drug.
Oof.
I mean,
Oof.
yeah,
It's the worst.
yeah. Just as on an annoyance level because people are just talking about nothing the whole time.
They
weed
just
at
want
least.
to talk to you. They
Yeah.
want to talk right in your face. They're
Yeah.
super pumped up, like Hitler. You imagine they injected Hitler with 2 doses of oxycodone and cocaine.
Yeah.
And he had, hit me again. The doctor's like, I can't, the Fuhrer, we can't hit you again. Hit me again. They hit him again. He goes directly to Mussolini's house. Like, oh my God.
Like he's so annoying.
Coke-fueled 5-hour rant and rave. Poor Mussolini. I
Yeah.
just want to make a pizza. I want to hang out. I want to go to Capri. I want to go fishing with my grandson.
And yeah, Hitler's just like, no, the Jew, and just losing his
Oh
mind.
my God. Imagine that this whole thing was fueled by meth. Like, that was responsible for the whole fucking chaos of it all.
Yeah,
Meth fueled. Because if you stop and think about history,
Breaking Bad.
there's obviously been some horrific, campaigns. Well, whether it's Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, or
Well, what are they on? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, what are they
that's what I was
taking?
gonna say.
Right.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, if these guys in the Nazi Party were all on meth,
Yeah.
which makes total
No
sense.
sense.
They were so psychotic.
Yeah, dude.
What were the fucking Mongols on? Were they just drunk?
Yeah, was that? Yeah, because it was like, was that the opium den time? That wasn't dens. I know that.
Oh yeah, they definitely must have had opium dens, right?
Yeah.
They must have had that.
Is that their era?
I mean,
The Genghis Khan?
Opium's been around forever.
Right.
Everybody had opium. But it's what did.
But that also that mellows you out though.
Right.
You know that should make you a killer.
Well, the Vikings were into mushrooms, which is weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Like psychedelic mushrooms?
Psilocybin.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were still okay.
They would take psilocybin and they would fucking go on crusades and start smashing heads.
Well, that's probably. I mean, well, they're also they're groomed to be like that. So I think psilocybin's going to take you where you want to go.
Yeah, because it's their world, right?
Mhm.
Their world is like cutting and slashing,
Right.
attacking. Like they're not. The idea of that not being there, that's not even an option.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you talk about Valhalla. So, I mean, that's what they're thinking about. They're just like, we're just killing people. That's like it's heaven. Like we get to kill everybody.
What a crazy reward for murder.
Yeah.
You go to a heaven and you drink with Odin.
Yeah.
Gonna go to Valhalla, just hacking people apart with swords. Just can't wait to see Odin. Thrust, hack.
Yeah.
And then you take that arrow in the neck.
And then you get to go to Valhalla.
Happy, you're gonna go to Valhalla. You ever watch that show Vikings?
No, people tell me it's great though. Is it great?
Pretty fucking good, man.
Yeah.
Up until like season 4 or 5, Mrs. Rogan had to stop.
No,
She
did she?
couldn't take it anymore. There's a lot of fucking pretty extreme violence. It gets a
She
little,
can't handle it?
It gets a little gnarly, and there's not
You're the combat sports guy.
there's not enough good people that
Okay.
you like root for. Like
That's the
everybody-
Vikings. I'm sorry.
Yeah, everybody's kind of a piece of shit. You're like, why am I watching these piece of shits rape and murder each other? And the brothers would turn on brothers. I mean, it's dark.
Yeah. And those are like the true Caucasians, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're the
Message.
the northern warriors, the ones who escaped from the southern climates and figured out how to survive in the coldest fucking places in the world.
Oh yeah.
And there's like a nature rule, not a rule, like a law in terms of like the size of things that live where it's cold. So like if you have a deer in Mexico, it might be 100 pounds. But if you have a deer in Saskatchewan, it might be like 300 pounds.
Because of the weather,
Same
right?
species. There's
Yeah.
something about real cold climate makes things grow bigger and stronger.
Because that's like it's reacting to the environment, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's something about body temperature as well, that in order to maintain body temperature, they need a lot of mass. And so, like, polar bears are the biggest of the bears.
Right.
And they live in the coldest fucking place.
And those Caucasian Vikings are the
Those
biggest dudes. Yeah.
Iceland motherfuckers.
Yeah. Icelandic, just giant dudes. Yeah.
Like that mountain from Game of Thrones.
He's an
one of those
Icelandic,
guys.
right.
Yes. Yes. That's what that is.
That's gnarly.
That's gnarly.
And he wanted to play basketball. Is that nuts? He wanted to play basketball. Is he in MMA yet?
Play basketball. No.
Okay.
No, I don't think he knows how to fight. There was a video of him sparring with Conor McGregor, and Conor McGregor's fucking him up.
What?
Yeah,
That guy?
Yeah, and Conor's not. He's not weighing in, so he's probably weighing about 170.
Okay.
And Game of Thrones guys,
Easy 3.
3
Yeah.
easy. I would imagine he's in the 320, 340 range.
Yeah. And he's like a bodybuilder too. So he's like
chasing Conor, and Conor's cracking him in the stomach.
Oh.
It's kind of a crazy video to watch.
I want to see
never
it.
seen
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
Yeah, pull it up. We'll
Because how
end it
tall
with
is like
this.
kind of 5'9"? This guy's what, 6'7"?
He's taller than 5'9", I think. Conor might be 5'9", might be 5'10". I'm 5'8". He's
I
like
won't
an inch or
disrespect
two
you,
taller
Conor
than me.
McGregor.
Oh, he's a beast.
Yeah, you get the heart
He's
of
a
an
beast.
8-foot person.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy fought Floyd Mayweather with 0 professional boxing fights.
Yeah.
Just stop and think about that.
No, he's
0. He took 0. So
He's
here it is.
he's a legit savage.
So here's Conor, who's
Yeah.
probably about $170. Look at the size difference here.
Yeah.
And they're like sparring, and Conor's moving around, and he's punched him in the stomach. And the
Look
guy's
at
trying
him.
to grab him.
Tagging him. Oh.
He's trying to grab him, but Conor
He
is
lets
not
him?
let him grab, but he's not doing anything. He's controlling. The guy's trying to do. See,
Oh, they're really
he's trying
sparring.
to grab him.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
shit.
yeah. The guy's trying to grab him, but he doesn't know what he's doing. And then he's like high fiving, and Conor's like, no, we're gonna keep going, lad.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep going. So now he starts kicking him. Starts kicking him in the stomach. Look at that. See, he just punched him in the stomach, and the big guy doesn't know what to do. He's trying to grab him, but Conor's like, come on, lad. We're gonna keep going.
He's a fucking monster.
Yeah. So
Prop
Conor
back.
knows that this big motherfucker can't keep this up. He can't keep it up. He's not able to keep up this pace. So he's already hurting.
I mean, he's already tired. I mean, come on.
Oh,
You're just going back and forth here.
No. First of all, he's not
I mean, we
used to
just got
sparring.
to a minute.
He's not used to sparring, right?
Okay.
So everything he's doing is like these big movements, and he's not breathing well. So he's all tense and tight. So right now he went to take a deep breath. See, all this is tension for him. He's very tense. So now he's got a hold of the leg, but he doesn't know what to do. And Conor,
You have it, though, yeah.
Conor hand fights with him. All Conor has to do is keep him moving. And
Right.
as he
There you
punched
go.
Conor in the stomach.
There we go.
And then Conor's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
And so Conor's going to keep going. Look
Ooh.
at that. Now he's throwing kicks at him.
Yeah, that guy's even kicked him yet. Can't put that. With
The
that
big guy
leg.
can't kick him.
Yeah.
It'll be too awkward, and
Okay.
Conor will trip him and throw him to the ground or something like that. He doesn't know how to kick. But Conor's just going to keep punching him in the stomach. But eventually he just gets really, really tired, and he gives up. But it's kind of crazy to watch because Conor essentially made him fight. See, like he got on his knees, just like that cop guy.
That was the victim.
Yeah, the victim with the cop. He got on his knees, and Conor didn't allow him either. Conor's kneeing him in the body. Look at this, bro. He's gangster. He's kneeing him and punched him in the body.
Jeez. I mean, those are real kicks. Those are real, like, neat.
Dude,
wow.
that guy is so much bigger than him.
Yeah. He's a monster. So, he's not doing any MMA training.
Well, he could, but he
Jesus.
wasn't there. I mean, he just doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
But if he learned what to do, Conor would never do that.
Yeah, that guy's I mean, he's a walking weapon.
Like Ngannou, Francis Ngannou, who's probably one of the biggest heavyweights in the UFC. Conor would never do that with him.
Yeah, because he's a trained
He's
fighter.
like a giant striker. He'd fuck him up. But with that guy didn't know what he was doing.
No, the mountain though. Yeah, he was a basketball player. He wanted to play basketball, and then he broke his ankle or leg or something, and never like healed properly, and then he just became a bodybuilder, and then they put him in Game of Thrones.
Well, he's the world's strongest man.
Right, exactly.
He wins those world's strongest man things.
Yeah.
He's not just like a participant.
Sorry, yeah, he is. Yeah, he's the
wins
champ.
those things.
Right.
He's crazy strong.
And his guy is like Magnus for Magnuson, right? Like there's like his mentor, Magnus.
Is that his mentor?
Yeah, Magnus for Magnuson.
By the way, what a great name.
Perfect name, Magnus for Magnuson. I fucking
Dude
love
who's
that cat.
Strongman competitor.
Magna cum laude. Yeah,
God
Magnus
damn.
for Magnuson.
Yeah, remember those shows used to be on like ABC, Wide World of Sports and shit. It would be on TV. You'd be watching, and it'd be strongest man competition. They would throw barrels over the fucking bars. And
They're
stuff.
carrying, like carrying trucks, 18-wheel semis.
Yeah, always ridiculous shit.
Remember, like the guys, like they would lift, and like they'd have like a hemorrhage, and it just fucking go out through their nose.
Oh yeah, you see blood splurting out their nose when they're doing deadlifts.
Yeah.
One of the guys, Robert Oberst, was on my podcast recently. He's one of those strongest man competitors. They're so big, they don't even look like real people.
Yeah.
When you're around them, you're like, how are you so big? They're so big. These fucking gigantic humans.
The human body is incredible.
It is, man.
There
There he is.
He said this is the most he's ever lifted.
What did he tick in his nose?
Smelling salt.
Isn't that nuts? They do smelling salts before they lift.
Some dudes drink whiskey or something.
Yeah, I've
Really?
heard of that
Yeah.
before. But why smelling salts?
I
wouldn't drink the whiskey. I feel like that would make me too relaxed. I'd probably shit myself or something.
Look at the size of this fucking human.
Yeah, that's
Ready?
what he's 425.
1, 2, 3. Rah!
on the plate.
How much weight is this?
Didn't say.
Is it a ton?
It just said it's the most he's ever
Bro,
done.
look at the
bar's
bar
bending.
bend. God. Jesus Christ. Look at the fucking bar bend.
See what it says. Doesn't really say there, no.
Jesus. Good enough.
Facebook, yeah,
We get it. But the smelling salts are so strange.
Yeah, right.
Ugh. Like,
But NFL players do that too on the sideline.
imagine if you did that right before you went on stage.
I
Just took
might.
smelling salts.
I might.
Maybe that's the move.
Right?
Maybe we're missing out.
I think for your next show, you got to do that shit. Just fucking pound it real quick.
Hitler to Mussolini. Just I just go up there and just rant for 5 hours.
And everybody's like,
shut him up.
Did you see Rogan's 7-hour set?
Oh my God. Yeah,
All-
he took smelling salts.
All brilliant.
What
His nose was bleeding.
does it smell like?
Took the
Have
best
you ever smelled
angles.
it?
No, I don't know what it smells
I've never
like.
smelled it. I was going to ask if it would, how to compare like a stink bomb or something like that. That smells
I think it's just like real strong. It's just like the scent is strong.
Oh my God.
And it just
Freaking out.
pops your brain like right away. Yeah.
And then you fucking left. Damn.
Yeah, you become like Dane Cook on stage. You'd be like so physical.
No one's that physical.
Yeah.
No one's smelling salts physical.
No, it smells physical.
Yeah, I mean,
we should make Jeremiah
imagine-
Watkins do it.
Oh my God.
'Cause he
Get
would.
Watkins on smelling salts.
Yeah.
He would be the first guy to have like, what kind of physical comedy does he have? Oh, like smelling salts physical.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The most physical level.
Not cocaine.
Yeah.
Not Kinnison shit. You're talking about smelling salts.
Well, it'd be like Dane Cook is one of the most physical. Like Jim Carrey was very physical. He
right?
might be
Robin
like-
Williams.
Yeah, but Jim Carrey would like fall down and fucking do pratfalls and go
Right.
crazy.
He's an acrobat.
And,
Yeah.
he could move weird too. He had like a real flexibility to the way he moved.
Yeah.
Remember in like Ace Ventura: Pet Detective?
I mean, that was on
Yeah.
display, right?
Yeah. I mean, that was part of his whole thing was how wacky he moved. You know, so he's
Man with
probably
1,000
number one.
faces, right?
But then you'd have smelling salts physical. Next level shit.
Yeah.
Just like those kids in the day, they couldn't do the BMX flip 3 times. Right?
Now they can,
Now
right?
They can.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with smelling salts.
I got to see this. I got to fucking try this
It's
actually.
just ammonia.
Is
That's
it?
Yeah, just it releases ammonia when you break the thing or whatever,
Yeah.
open the cap or whatever you're doing.
Okay,
Oh, that's nothing.
that ain't shit.
Yeah, it's
They
Windex.
used to make it from deer antlers and hooves.
What?
Yeah,
Oh.
there's this shit called Spirit of Hartshorn.
Folks, this has been the most educational experience ever of this podcast, I would say, with both real and false information.
We don't know. We can't decipher which is both. Actually.
We gave you nonsense and we gave you truth, and we hope you enjoy it. Brian Moses, tell these people where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at Race Banning on Twitter, Fox Compton on Instagram, or just see me at the Rose Battle every Tuesday night at the Comedy Store.
Every Tuesday night. What time does it start? At
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock, 11 p.m. One of the rare scheduled 11 p.m. shows anywhere. How about that? Regularly scheduled show at 11 p.m. Pretty fucking rare.
It's dope, dude. You came one time. It was past your bedtime, but you still did it.
I did. I took my Mylanta.
Yeah.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Moses.
My boy.
Goodbye.
Oh.